Okay. Don't know why that's up. Let's just put that away. That's from the other one. Okay, welcome to the Stormcaller's Fury, episode 28. Last we left off. Oh, I can hear myself. Crazy. Last we left off, you guys were with the Lady Casvira as she led you through different narrow pieces in the palace and to her secret eyrie that's been carved into the deep part of the side of the mountain. You saw different maps and threads of conspiracy and engineering sketches and evidence of something very wrong within Cardunor. And it's there she told you that the Seneschal, his behavior has shifted to pretty much obsession. You know that he guards a sealed vault beneath the council chambers. You've also found out that dark elves beneath the city are being armed by someone, and some elven spies now move through the underroads. And the spire, the very heart of Cardinor's future, has been altered in a way that seems to terrify her. She's warned you that if you kill the Seneschal, you only prove his lies, and to bring him down, you have to expose him. And before opening a staircase back to the tavern through stone, Zephyr saw the mark of Zephyrix tattooed on her mother's wrist, to which she explained was a blessing that had been given to Zephyr as a newborn. You then returned to the Axe and Anvil, where Keenan was charming various nobles and ordering servants around, and Persephone was navigating brand new starry form. And after reuniting, you sort of downloaded everyone on the information. Keenan summoning his contact, Silvara Quill of the Argentum, she revealed that the elven spies, as Zephyr's mum put it, have been tracking a cult within the city that they named the Shattered Storm, a sigil marked by a helical spiral that was very familiar for you guys, as that was in your first ever session. She confirmed that those dark elves are indeed stirring within the city limits, and blue and pink light had been bleeding from the vents of the city where a lot of the city and the city infrastructure travels and sort of falls into. You know that you've been hearing drum beats echoing through the Sootways and old furnace ducts, and someone has been moving crates and resin and weapons and away from the Seneschal. And we closed off with the night closing very, very gently, with Keenan performing to nobles, Calenthar sketching out various blueprints, Persephone and Kozar, Zephyr drinking a glass of her mother's favourite wine, warmed by the fire, and beneath the Hailfaller peaks, a blue-scaled creature, frost-dusted, and bearing the tattered remains of a saddle, had moved through with purpose through the winding caverns, as if it was searching for something. However, because you all love the sound of my beautiful voice, we open not with our intrepid adventurers, nor some maniacal plot against the stout citizens of Cardunor. Rather, imagine a beautiful glade, plush verdant grass swaying in the morning breeze, as droplets of dew creating a very glittering expanse in the shade of the boughs above. A gentle lapping of water as the small lake at its center ripples, a delicate little dragonfly flitting across a stray leaf tumbled from its parent. And at the center of the lake, an ancient oak with wizened bark, a tree with such age that would inspire tall tales of the arcane and memories and stories of ages gone by, its branches outstretched fingers welcoming all with open arms. And we watch as light unfurls from it, and a slow spiraling ring of green and gold, moss and ivy shivering as the bark peels back like the edge of a curtain. And but for a small heartbeat in this beautiful forest, the hollow within is full of nothing but shifting colours of vibrant, incandescent light. One boot, worn leather scuffed with time and wear, steps forward towards it, leaving damp litter of crumpled blades of emerald behind. And the figure staggers a moment, breath catching, as the air changes around him in an instant from a morning dew to a loamy, dry, and bitter, acrid air. Shot through with a taste of salt and ash, they squint as they raise a hand to shield uncertain eyes from the bright glare of the sun above. Their cloak already heavy with a light beige dust. A second rip in the air opens, and the twisted roots of a yew tree, the third from a crook of a great ash, more circles of light ripple into being between trees older than most of the human kingdoms. And from each they come, broad-shouldered dwarves with plaited beards, plaited beards and hammered shields, elves with pale cloaks, long swords strapped to their backs, humans stained in colours of coastal beauty, their armour rippled with pearlescent fixtures, with red cloaks draped around their shoulders, spears held aloft. And behind them the deep shade of that green wood, the smell of rain, sap and earth, bird song tangled amongst the leaves, disappears. In front, heat rises from the dunes in soft wavering ribbons, as the first light of a morning desert scrapes across the sand in long strokes of gold and white. A helm lies half buried, sand filling the islets. A snapped spear, halved, leans against a cairn of hastily stacked stones. The wooden ribs of a supply cart jut from the dune like a skeleton, and footprints move among the wreckage. A line of soldiers trudge along the ridge, boots kicking up thin clouds of powder-dry grit. Grass and fern have fallen away to a ragged line of stone and packed dirt. Far out where the land sags towards the long-vanished shore, this sand is stained darker, splattered and churned into ugly red patterns. And they walk. Past the splintered barricade where something large once struck, past the shattered ballista, and ahead where cliffs rise, pale stone fractured, a narrow descent has been cut into rock, with ropes already strung along rusted pitons, hammered deep into the cliff face. The air cools as they enter the shade, torches flickering against walls etched with spirals and suns, their paint worn thin by centuries of shifting sand. And then we move, higher still, to the jagged black ridge of a far mountain. A fortress of dark stone, and at the highest balcony, where the wind is thin and sharp and carrying the scent of dust and distant storms, a single figure kneeling, both hands pressed flat against the surface of a tall crystal shard embedded into the stone. This shard catches the light differently, drinking in the sunrise, as the man's shoulders rise and fall with controlled, measured breaths. Electricity flickers weakly along his forearms, not in wild arcs, just a pulse, something strained and forced. And as he leans forward, his forehead touches the crystal, and a faint tremor moved through the earth. Far below, the coalition reinforcements gather in the cavern city. And on the desert ridge, the newest arrivals look across a land that has already bloodied itself. And in the peak of this fortress, the man holds himself against the shard a moment longer. As the sun climbs, the desert brightens, and a new day of war begins. What day greets Keenan after a night of revelry in the Axe and Anvil, as the cold sliver of light filters in through the mirror array and directly into your face?
Helps if I mute. Keenan would be up early as usual, and while it's quiet early in the day, we'll be squinting at the light, but reading through reports and paperwork from Saphara, and then in between that, sketching in his notebook, thoughts, ideas, plans, just taking the time to be himself when no one's around.
Okay. Fresh spiced bread from the markets, here where dwarves mine and soot clouds almost everything. You need a little bit of spice to be able to taste something. And that smell of fried mushrooms and newly poured thick mineral beer begins to waft up to all of your rooms as breakfast is being served downstairs. Kalanthar, can you roll me a d12?
Sure thing. That's a 1.
That might be good. We don't know.
It's the best time to roll a 1. If it's not a D20.
As the arrays begin to adjust and mechanically alter themselves, ready for the day to spread fresh light across the mountain city, we watch as it moves from Keenan's over to it was a nice suite at one point. It is now a strewn mess of gears, metal, blueprints and paper, an ink pot tipped over, and just a tumbling mess of hair sprouting from every part of his head.
That's so true.
A little bit tired. You don't sleep well, you do sleep, you don't dream, and you've just been awake, sketching away until the early hours of this morning, and that waft of breakfast begins to like almost cartoon style circle past your nose, and sort of brings you back from the reverie that you were in.
He just takes the inked fountain tip pen and just sticks it through his ponytail up in a bun and just starts walking downstairs.
Hot messy bun. I like it. Yes.
Nice.
Amazing. Okay. Nim, can you roll me a d12, please?
I can try. Hang on. Why is it not working? No. Sorry, D&D Beyond is having a little meltdown at me.
This is why you guys should go to mysterydicegoblins.uk and buy yourself a bag of dice.
Yes, shit.
I might keep getting dice
D12.
out. I've got a
Okay.
big bag of dice and I never use them. Let's get some D.
I have 4.
A 4.
Yep.
Okay. Already downstairs and on your 3rd beer of the morning. You spent
Yep.
a good deal of the night dreaming away about home. Could you describe to me what home is for Nim?
Home for Nim is her parents' house back in Masmere and Ixalora. I think mostly home for Nim is chatting with her mum in the kitchen while her mum's out cooking something, and they're just kind of chatting the day away.
Love it. Love it. And finally, Zephyr. How did you sleep last night?
It was as a not really a sleeper, more of a meditator. She found her mind never fully settled on anything. There was no real rest to be had. While she no longer worries or is troubled with sadness, her mind is just trying to calculate so many different outcomes and possibilities, trying to think over everything that she's heard or heard, like either through being told by people or being told like her friends have told her, and seeing if any of it makes sense, if any of it will help. And so she wakes up with bags under her eyes, and while she has a smile on her face, she is very tired.
Okay. Can you roll me a d12, please?
At the E12, I can indeed. That is a 6.
Okay. Yeah, you feel heavy, in a sense. There's been things lately, especially when you met your mum, you sort of felt yourself lighten almost, with the air that you both have in this aura around you. And you wake up this morning, you find yourself a little bit dulled, and as you're getting ready and you're putting on your half plate, you realize as you move your hands to your head that your circlet had fallen off while you're sleeping, and you quickly grab it and put it on, and as soon as you do, you feel like this wave. But it's not magical, it's the presence of having that with you. And your head just lifts up a little bit, and despite the bags under your eyes, you find yourself a little bit more purposeful, like I will find a way to be useful today. And you make your way downstairs. Keenan, as you are the last to join for breakfast, you are caught in the hallway by Silvara. Yeah. Who quickly grabs you by the arm. She's sort of dusted in soot. Her hair is her usually gloriously curated, long, tumbling curls of Ginger are frazzled. Hands are like ink stains, and she just kind of weakly offers you a sooty piece of parchment. And she's like, we lost Cutter.
Shit.
Yeah.
Everyone else okay? You okay?
Yeah, we managed to get out of there, but the last contact came from Cinderwheel Station, one of the old furnace. He was talking about drums, and then he said he saw some orphans and that he hopes that they're okay, and that the cult dragged one of the poor wretches into the Sootway. He couldn't follow them because his leg was getting bad, and that's the end of the report, unfortunately.
So it's more than helpful. Forgive me, I didn't have notes. Does Cutter have family?
No, he was, he lost them in the war. I think that's why he cares about those children so much.
For sure. And this parchment you've given me, is that your report, or is this something else?
Oh yeah, no, that's just for you to have, and it verifies most of the information. But like I said,
Thank you. I will. I've learnt to trust your word on these things. Please rest up. Order what you need.
on you, and she's like, pointing
Yes.
at you. All right, and she immediately just makes a beeline for the bar. Just like it doesn't even. She's 1 minute she's there, the next minute she's gone.
I shout after. Consider it a bonus for a job well done. And I start reading through the parchment on my way downstairs to meet the others.
Yeah, sure. So the report details pretty much what she said, that Cutter had been sent after your increase into the Sootways. He'd been sent into the Châtellome slums, which was his district of observation, him along with Glasswing. We're keeping an eye on the slums because that's where a lot of the old furnace vents were. In doing so, a lot of the report dates that they've seen a lot of like forgotten, misbegotten, poor children in rags, and every now and then one or two of them go missing, and you don't see them again. There's not too much in terms of description because they always kept a bit of a distance, and the orphans were known for stealing, and they didn't want to sort of get their things stolen from them. But it does mention that the Châtellome slums in particular, something called the Cinderwheel Station, which appears to be an old derelict. You're not too sure what it is. It just appears to be something that they used to use and they don't anymore.
Got you. As I'm reading through this, I'm assuming that I've reached downstairs, joined the table, and I haven't acknowledged anyone yet. I've just kind of randomly picked up a cup, hoping it's coffee, and started drinking it while I finish reading the report.
Sure.
As I finish reading it, I look up, and my eyes are wide, and I'm looking around at my companions and say, "We have a lead," and I'm scouting around the room to see if there's any eavesdroppers.
Okay. Make me a perception check.
Absolutely. Perception. That's a 6.
Not as far as you. It's a lot of. I think the level of paranoia that you're at right now, and I think you're starting to feel. Because I will say, as far as this, you are also getting like small pieces of information of other things going on in the city. Most things that have sort of tied themselves in bows because the agents are taking care of it. But it's all of this information constantly over the past couple of days is starting to where, like, this is Ellie's job. You understand why she was quite happy to leave you to it. And I think with that, you're flicking your eyes around, and you don't take long enough to check someone out if there were someone to check someone out properly. But
for sure. Almost absent-mindedly, then, as he says, I think we've got a lead. He's going to pass over the parchment to whoever sat next to him, probably Persephone, who will look at it and go, "Yeah," and pass it on to the next person.
fair enough.
Just kind of like wiping away the ink that's gone around my eyes as well, where I've like fallen asleep briefly in parchment overnight. So, Keenan, how many people do you actually have working for you on this?
Yes, all of them.
Okay.
As far as you were aware, you had 6, I believe.
Yeah, I think I have the list somewhere.
Yeah. So it looks like there's been a lot of activity over by these Sootway pastures. Did we want to look into it a bit more ourselves?
Yeah,
after what we
the
found out?
Chatelaine slums. Yeah, I could do with some action. If I'm honest, and I need to hit something.
Not
And
that kind of action, you dirty animals.
I think Keegan literally says
Yeah.
that. Not that kind of action.
And then
For
we,
once
then
I'm
we,
being serious.
and then we all look at Keenan and go, "Sure," and wink.
There.
Anyway, so what's the plan? Are we going to do a little bit of recon today, or did we want to kind of gear up a little bit? What we think?
I want to gear up, head out, investigate. If yeah, this is a good lead that we've got, and kind of motivated by the fact that orphans are going missing.
Yeah, I can get that. I'll make sure not
Wait.
to shoot anyone small this time. I promise.
You said orphans are going missing. Yeah, we definitely need to investigate that.
And
How many have gone?
there's not an exact number. Like they've been going missing here and there, but there have been some gone missing quite recently, according to Cutter's report.
Who's Cutter?
An acquaintance of mine.
And
He has
We
also.
him?
They have also gone missing. This was the last word that they were able to get out.
Okay, but we trust this information is all good. We're not gonna go running after something
yeah.
and then have guards come and strike us down.
If that were to happen, the person giving me the information would meet not an untimely end. They would meet an end, but be drawn out and suffered first.
You'd essentially blacklist them. Is that what you're getting at, Keenan?
No. So if I was to die as a result of information that they've provided, I don't think Ellie would be too pleased.
Oh yeah.
Or anyone else in my family.
Yeah, because if anyone gets to kill you, it's her, right?
There is that, and also we, what I told you before. You need to have people that you can trust working for you.
True.
And causing the death of a superior, not a good sign.
Not very trustworthy. Okay.
Money's a powerful motivator, but it doesn't always guarantee silence.
Violence also powerful motivator.
True. Did you see like him just kind of like rolling over a couple of vials in his hand?
Unhinged. Unhinged.
So yeah, so I trust this information. I think it will have been Safara would have verified it before bringing it to me.
Just out of interest, would I have heard anything from my craftsman guys, or would I have to go over to the Harkner Hall to find out anything from them?
Not based on your rolls, unfortunately.
Okay, no worries. So, no point going that way. So
They're
we
far too busy making cool toys.
I will be there right with them when I finally learn out how to do stuff. These doodles will become reality eventually. Yeah, I'm good to do whatever you guys would like to do. I kind of did my cool crafty thing last session.
I'd certainly like to investigate where these kids are going, especially if it's going to lead us in the direction for other endeavors than two birds, one stone.
Absolutely. I found coincidence isn't really a thing. Things are more connected than we think. So it doesn't surprise me that we can two birds, same bush.
Yeah, bush.
Yeah, I know what you mean.
So I'm very happy to gear up, go out, create some violence.
Okay. So as you begin to gather all your gear and your new robot girlfriend, where would we like to go?
Above table, I really want to go check out the Sootways because we heard drums and I know what that means. Out of table. So, not to meta pigeon, but that's where I'd like to go.
They heard drums at where we're going.
By the way, the Sootways are everywhere.
Yeah.
You guys, so Keenan found out he knows of access points, so one in each
I was
district.
just say, did you say last time that we could get to the Shattered Loom slums via the Sootways from where we are?
I don't remember.
There was one between the library and outside, which is
there's one between the
outside.
library and the tavern, and then I think yes. So you know of an access point that will get you to somewhere in each district from where you guys are right now.
I think.
Yes.
We head. We head for that station?
Mm-hmm.
And I mean, we can go via the Sootways. Wasn't there like didn't that parchment mention that the Sootways were near the station?
They did indeed. The Cinderwheel station.
Yes, this sounds good. Nim is still like drinking her third beer of the morning. So again, she's like not 100% following what's going on, but she's like trying to, you know, when you're so drunk that you think that you're a genius, then that's the energy that Nim is giving off this morning.
Nice.
Love it.
Everyone else on board? I'm happy to go above ground, underground, whatever we think is best.
Wombling free.
Just wobbling free. But it's good to have options.
Always.
Oh, one thing I would like to pick up if we go past like shops on the way is just like a standard like adventuring cloak to put over the
Automaton. Robot
Just-
girlfriend.
yeah, just so it's
Robot
not like so obvious that she's
Yeah,
Swedish.
very easy for you to do. You pop into Taylor's.
Mhm. So I'll just get like probably like a sapphire blue to kind of like, or like a red to like contrast the scarf or something, just so it's like looks a bit.
Just
different.
working the colors. Yeah, getting the right
Yeah,
palette.
yeah,
Yeah.
yeah.
Yeah, I mean, to get a nice cloak would be about 2 gold.
Yeah, sure.
So yeah, there is one point you're putting it on her and you're like, might be better than mine, but it's fine.
Yeah, but mine
has an owl spirit in it.
Okay, so I'll do that. With the steel defender, can I get it to hold stuff like weapons
Yeah,
or not?
yeah, I believe so. Let me have a look.
Because I know it's got like an unarmed strike thing it can do.
It'd be like a golf caddy. It just like carries around your weapons and walks behind you.
Yeah, I just double multi-class and become an artillerist and just have it run around with a cannon on its back.
I believe it can carry them. It just doesn't know how to use them.
Okay. In that case, can I just for like so it looks a bit more realistic as like an adventurer type? Can I get a like greatsword or something like a basic one just for it to have on its back?
I believe so. Yeah.
Suppose I could give it
Is
my sword
50
longsword.
gold.
Or I could just give it my longsword. I don't really use that.
Hey man, it's up to you. I don't care either way.
Yeah, I'll give it my longsword instead. I'm not actually using it.
As Cullen does that, Keenan just makes quip of. Remember that time when like we didn't have any weapons?
Look down at the rapier. Thanks, Keenan.
Good times.
I did want to break down the longsword I had into something I could actually use, but I just never got around to it.
I do want that rapier back, by the way, Cullen. It's a family gift.
Okay. In that case, I'll hand the
At some point,
rapier
you
to-
can hold on to it for now, but yeah, it's not a permanent gift.
But if you
I'll,
die, I'm taking it off your corpse.
I'll tell you what I'll do then. If I'm in that sort of general vicinity, like as I'm walking past, I'll drop off the longsword and see if they can make it down into like a scimitar instead. If I can like put in like a work order with the blacksmith, just to change it up.
Make me a persuasion roll.
Sure thing. I'm really good at those. That's a 4. I think. D&D Beyond's lucky. Yeah, it's a 4.
He says he can do it, and it would cost you 20 gold. So he's only taken 5 off the cost of actually buying a new one.
Okay.
But yeah, it's
No
very
worries.
easy for you to do.
And then I'll hand back the rapier to Keenan to say, finally got round to actually getting this sorted. Thanks for the loaner, and then I'll hand it back over.
That's okay. And then Keenan starts inspecting it, and he's like, I and Cullen like, what have you done to it? Like the balance is off, and is that a chink in the blade? Have you been trying to cut down trees with my rapier?
I may have like tested the durability on some stuff I was working on.
As he's saying that, you notice that there's a small little chip in the in the still defender, just a little nick on the side of the arm, and it's like, yeah, that matches, that tracks.
Good job it's ceremonial, and I don't need it to stab people with. And he kind of puts it back on his hip. So the handguard with the family heirloom is showing. Family symbol, sorry.
Okay. Are you guys going overground or underground?
I kind of want to go underground. Sounds fun. I'll go whatever the others want to do.
Yeah, let's
Demon-
do underground.
Underground it is.
I just
Yeah.
thought it was like really funny.
I mean, we could split up and like go different ways.
Do it. I dare you. What's the worst thing that could happen?
Yeah.
Are we trying to be sneaky whilst we're down here, or are we kind of just walking through and?
That's an excellent question. I was going to ask that.
Because I'm pretty sure my Steel Defender has disadvantage on stealth check.
I would think so. Yeah. Just.
I feel
It doesn't actually say it does, but I assume it would.
Yeah. I would what's its armor class? 15.
15. So it's sort of like wearing like half plate, well, breastplate. I guess.
I mean, even if the Steel Defender doesn't have a disadvantage, Nim does.
Yeah. I mean, if it helps, Keenan's not trying to be as stealthy as he would if we were going above ground,
Okay.
because you're less likely to be seen
I was just
in the
thinking
tunnels.
I was just thinking I could use one of my like basic infusion things, like the really like basic ones, and just like touch the Steel Defender, and then it lights up like a Christmas tree.
Do it!
Okay,
Do the thing.
I'll use one of my magical tinkering things, and then I'll like touch the sort of like symbol of the Guardian that we put on the front, and then that'll like light up just the emblem of that, so it's like a torch when we're walking around.
Okay.
So it's sort of like the just the emblem, not like the whole thing. So it can still get like covered up by the cloak if we need to. So.
Okay. Yeah, so Keenan leads you to the access point that he knows where it is, which was the entrance to what looked like a wine cellar. And using the map, instead of going right, he takes you guys left, and a couple more rights and lefts. But it begins as a steep descent, as the stone underfoot becomes almost slick with a very fine black dust that coats every surface. You can see sputtering oil lamps have been bolted to some parts of the walls, and thin shafts of some parts of the morning and the city begin to filter through warped grates in the ceiling. And as you're moving along, the deeper you guys go, the thicker the air becomes. And there's a very warm, almost mineral tang. And as you begin making your way, and you figure you might be underneath the Orenvane market as the vents disappear, and you can hear this constant, almost cold pressure on all of you. And you begin to realize that you might be underneath what forms the dockway underneath the Thunder Steps. And you keep going. It feels like you guys have been walking for a long time, as pipes overhead begin to tangle like metal vines in a forest, like massive steel roots of a tree. You can see some are hissing ever so slightly, some drip this almost like black water. Some pipes are making strange noises, and every now and then there's a valve that sort of wheezes and clicks, and some chains that sway above you. And then after a while, you begin to hear the noise of the city, but this time it's a lot more rushed. There's a lot more footsteps and quick movements, and as it begins to change to an incline, and you find yourselves popping out the back of a disused washery, it looks like, because here in the slums no one has use for clean linen, as the the vents from the mines and some of the more underground forges are spewing out almost this black dust that is then falling down and back into the Sootways. You find yourselves amongst essentially it feels like a different city. Here there are buildings that are sort of leaning half to, some are high up and stacked upon each other, some parts are just covered with thin pieces of tarp instead of a ceiling, and there are braziers that are lit every now and then instead of sconces on the walls. And after a while, it of you guys, as you first come out, it does feel completely different as you're looking around. You can see a couple of merchants with less to do looking stalls of like an old piece of disused wood that's half rotten, as he's selling some fruits that have way past gone off. You can see quite an older dwarven lady talking with a bunch of people handing out small little white and yellow flowers, and like giving one to a small child who runs away really quick. You can hear workshops begin to clatter with tools on steel, and pipes begin to hiss overhead as you look up, and there is a network of essentially venting pipes from more of these forges that just seem to crisscross above everyone's head. And at one point you can see a cat just almost sauntering along before it jumps down onto the next roof. A small cluster of children play near a slanted alley. Some of them are unmistakably very dwarven. Some of them even beginning to see the sprouting of beards and soot-caked cheeks and sturdy limbs. You can see two have like hoods up. Their faces have been smeared in soot, and their hands are hidden in their sleeves and a jacket that's too big for them. You watch as one of them bumps into a larger dwarven man, and after a while you watch him just take off down an alley, and the dwarven man's patting himself before he like realizes and then runs after him. A couple of them kick like a tin can between them. They're a little bit overly stiff in their movements. As two more of the hooded children flinch a little bit at a man running towards them and scamper off in different directions. But you're just standing there watching all of this happen.
Are there like any kind of like hot pie vendors around?
Yeah, I'd say it's not hot pie, but you can see like this like large next to the old woman you can see a little bit. She's odd that she's human. It's a young woman who's got this massive bread that's essentially the whole length of her stall, and she's slowly carving into it. And you can see like pieces of red and green on the inside, and you've seen this in the marketplace as it's well, they call it hearth bread, but it's essentially as as hard as a rock and filled with chilies. As again, being most dwarves, they find it hard to find anything that's strong enough to get past all of their natural resistances. So they like to eat things that are very either spicy or very flavorful, in order to get some sense of
Got you.
accomplishment out of their meal.
I would very much like to quietly approach the woman,
Mhm.
ask her about her day and like how much does she usually sell, and kind of make a deal with her that I'll pay for 2 days worth of sales if she feeds the bread to the kids as they come past, but to keep up the down low, it's coming from her, not me.
Yeah, you watch this. She looks at the coins and then looks back at you and then looks at the coins again, and she's like, "Are you sure? Like this is a lot of money."
Absolutely. I
And
find sometimes it's good to do a generous act.
yeah, and you're looking at how much you've given her, which is 2 gold, and you're thinking to yourself, you've spent more on a drink than what you've sort of given to this woman. And as she's like saying thank you, one of the orphans in the hood runs past really quickly, and before she like leans in to say something, before she even leans in, you watch her like a quick hand, like, and then like a piece of the bread's already gone and it's taken off. And she's like, "What? It was free." Oh, well, I suppose it still works. Thank you for this. This is very generous.
It's fine. Yeah, I don't think anyone should go hungry. We'll be around for a little bit if you need more, or if you need any assistance. Yeah, thank you for what you're doing.
But I was just cutting bread, but okay. And begins to go back to preparing all the pieces for the children.
Cool. Oh, by the way, can you tell me what direction the Cinderwheel station is?
Cinderwheel.
Yeah.
She like looks over at the man you'd seen, and he's like, she's like, Gurik, what the fuck is a Cinderwheel? And he's like, yeah, yeah, it's just an old station that they used to use to. It's quite complicated, if I'm honest. But is this used now? You don't want to be going there. It's more like a safety hazard than anything else.
Oh, I'm going to be putting on a play, and I'm looking for maybe to purchase a venue. Has to have the right kind of aesthetic view. I might turn it into a play theatre. We'll be careful, of course. Hence why I've got my guards with me. They'll make sure no harm comes to me.
He like looks behind you at this array of people, and then at the rather tall looking, and then peers a little bit. Uh-huh. Yeah. A theater, you say? That sounds. I'm sure a lot of people will be able to pay for that.
Well, hopefully we'll bring in some of the rich folks to spend their money here to distribute the wealth, rather than them hoarding it where they live.
Right. Yeah. Sure.
So
Last I-
anyway, yeah, just quick bit of sightseeing. If
Yep,
it's complicated to give directions, I'm happy to pay for a guide.
No. Fuck am I going over there? And he sort of like points in the distance. He's like, you keep going there, 2 rights and a left, and it's quite a big place. They used it for well, before we became as excellent miners as we are, we used to use them to use sound to understand the stone beneath. So yeah,
Excellent.
just be careful. That's all I'm saying.
Yeah, thank you for the advice and for the information. And I shake his hand and palm a silver to him.
Fuck me, I'm going to the pub, and it just begins to walk off.
Yeah. Can I also point out, while we're here, I'm using my secondary purse, which has just got copper and loose change in. It's almost like stupidly easy if someone wanted to steal it, because Keenan's like happy if they do.
Keenan, you're gonna
Are
break
you-
the economy in the slums.
Is
Yeah.
as you have like entered into this and like realizing what sort of a place it is, I would say you're all very like heads on a swivel looking for stuff. So I need all of you to roll perception checks for me.
Ooh, that's a 21.
Interesting.
Nice.
I'm not blind as a bat for a change.
It's a 14 from me.
Okay.
23 from me.
So there's a 23 from
13.
Zephyr
Yeah, 13.
and a 13 from Nim. Interesting. Okay. I would say Zephyr, you're the first one to notice as Keen has been talking to these people. You like instinctively put your hand down to your side at where your coin purse should be. And then you look up and a small little shadow, they're about 3 foot tall with a hood up, sort of dots behind a building, and as you like reach for your coin purse, you realize that there's 50 gold missing.
There's 50 gold missing from who?
From you.
Oh. So I feel like immediately just like, guys, I'd check your money or keep a tighter hold of it if I were you. Just got pickpocketed.
Oh, yeah, that would be the main occupation here, I would imagine.
I kind of prefer to keep my money.
Yeah. What you could do is, if you tuck it inside your cloak, but separate it out across your body, so that if you pay for anything, you're taking it from different places, so they don't know where you keep all of your cash.
Zephyr kind of like nods and just like slowly starts to like hide money across her body. Yeah, like you see her like take off a shoe and put some in the shoe, and yeah.
Just gets home and it's like
Yeah.
I will say you know the direction that they went in, so you do know where they are, because you were the only person to clock. You were just below their stealth.
Think while upset that she's lost money, Zephyr's not gonna like, yeah.
Steal from a child?
Yeah, pretty much. Well, not gonna chase a child.
Yeah, fair.
The child that did the stealing. Zephyr would just be getting it back. Zephyr's just like, yeah, and just enough to warn the others, but that's all she's doing.
Okay.
I think hearing that, I'd obviously go to hide around as Keenan suggested, but I'll also write a little, pull out a page of my notebook and then just say, if you're skilled in thievery, meet us at the Axe and Anvil. We might have a job for you. And then put that in my pocket as like a little thing. So it's like an advertisement for if they do try and pickpocket. They get past us, they're probably worth talking to.
Love it.
Yeah, Nim just kind of like checks her coin pouch and then puts it like as deep within her armor as she probably can make it. And just kind of, she's like, I don't have pockets to hide it in. I'm just gonna, I don't know, shove it here. And she like, yeah, she's just almost like shoving it between her boobs and hoping for.
If Keenan hadn't told Zephyr specifically to split it out, Zephyr would have just shoved it in her boobs.
Yeah, boobs. Anyway, as you guys begin to follow the the direction, you begin to see a lot more laundry lines that have been crossed between the slanted buildings. These ones covered in like the beige and white shirts that are now pretty much black. Patched trousers, and there's some cloths that are not even swinging in whatever breeze there is here because they're just stiff. And you can tell like there's a small sparkling residue on them of all the earth minerals. Anyone that's taller than 6 foot, you'd have to like duck your head slightly, otherwise you get bashed in the head. And as you begin to move through, you do see every now and then a couple of whispers and heads turn your way. I would say, Zephyr, with your perception check, as you're all moving, you sort of cast an eye up and you see a couple more sort of short children stalking the rooftops, and they look your way, and you watch as one of them whispers to the other, and they sort of shake their heads and like lift their hand up to indicate too big, and then like move on. You come upon more narrow corridors that have been carved directly as the streets sort of decline again and the temperature begins to rise. You can see in the distance a couple more quite large holes in the ground, and you can see amber and orange light emitting from them, with long spiraling staircases going down that you would guess are maybe some of the mines going deeper and what they call the underforges. And as you guys are walking along, at the base of a ramp, illuminated by a flickering lantern, is a sign that says Cinderwheel Access closed by order of the Seneschal. And there isn't anyone there, but there is a couple of upturned iron carts outside, and almost a crisscross of wooden beams that have been nailed over the door's entryway.
Well, I think if the Seneschal wants it closed and no one to look at it, I think that's a very good reason for us to go and have a look.
It's almost like it's inviting us in.
That's
Right?
strange.
Indeed, yeah.
Crazy.
Um,
Kalanthar, can you make a perception
Mhm.
check, please?
Sure thing.
I love that
Sure,
it's
I've
you
been
as well.
rolled
That's
before.
so great.
Oh, that's a dirty 20.
Okay. You see them as they bump
Mhm.
into you, but they're quick.
Yep.
And you don't see their hands. And as you almost immediately in reaction, quickly move your hands to your coin purse. Everything is still there. As far as you can tell with a quick pat of your hand.
Mm-hmm. Is there anything else missing?
Are you gonna open it and have a look?
Yeah, sure.
Okay.
Why not?
The note that you took, has been replaced with a almost a very crude drawing of, and you're like turning it like the right way.
Is it arse cheeks?
No, it's a dick. There is a dick, and accompanying it is a small, almost stick figure drawn face with a tongue stuck out and like 2 middle fingers.
That's brilliant. Well, not
by the
exactly
way,
what I had in mind.
I
but it's funny.
created a D6 table for things to fuck with people. And I've been rolling natural 20s on sleight of hand. That's why none of you have seen it. They'll just be like, "Pow!"
Oh, dear.
Fucking crazy orphans, man. But yes, you're standing in front of this building with the iron beams over the doorway. Not iron, wooden beams over the doorway.
Who would
What-
like the honours?
Sorry, would Callan have shown the others the drawing or not?
I think I would at least show Keenan.
Yeah, I would
Keenan will
say,
admire
And then, pass it round. Just
yeah,
like,
I would say
it
you
looks like
guys
they got
were.
a sense of humour.
I would say you guys were observant to see this quick shadow brush past him, and then him, like, he was looking at a piece of parchment. So
Okay. Yeah, so once seeing that, Zephyr, like, is less focused on the door now and is genuinely, like, more focused on trying to see if they come back. And will be actively trying to...
I'd say you don't
Yeah.
need to, like, obviously keep rolling them, but I'd say because you rolled the only one that got close,
Yeah.
as you're looking around, yeah, you can see a couple of them. Like, there's a quick head movement. There's one, like, as you look up, there's one on the roof of, like, a nearby building.
It's more just if they get close to them
Yeah.
again, not like trying to see where they go, just like waiting for the next one to
Clothesline.
come at them. Yeah.
I think sort of like giggling to myself as I've like shown the others. I just kind of like say a little bit louder than I normally would. Aspiring artist. Looks like there is some talent.
There is.
See if they react at all in the distance.
Make me a perception check.
That's a 19.
Oh, that's high. I'd say from a nearby alleyway you can hear some low snickering, like a little but no one has come near.
Hmm.
Especially, I would say now that you're properly close to this door, it seems like Zephyr, as you're like looking up, like a couple of them like peek their head and then move back almost.
Keenan, you were saying who wants to do the honors?
Yeah, to kicking in these
Kick it.
boards.
Can I do it? Please. Nim is like,
Nim's been waiting so long to poke
Fine.
through the door.
You don't
Keenan
think
like does a
they-
bow and gestures to the door, like
Zeph was like, you don't think they'd cast anything on some boarded up things, right?
honestly, the moment that Keenan says, like, carry on, Nim's literally like kicking it in. Like,
Amazing.
And
Oh, can we
just
do,
as
can we
she-
do a cool thing? I've got an
it's
idea.
like, sorry.
You know that trick you did with Keenan in training with jumping off the shield? I'll get the steel defender to kneel down and put the shield up so you can do like a run jump.
Amazing.
There you go, continue.
Amazing.
I feel like she connects with the door just as Zephyr finishes saying, have they cast anything on this? And immediately Nim's face is just like, oh fuck.
Uh-oh.
So what I need, Kalanthor, if you can roll your athletics check for your Still Defender. So that'll just be your D20 plus your strength. Because I believe they have a +2 to athletics.
So that's an 18.
And then I need a strength check from Nim. And I'd say with an 18 that gives you advantage.
Just straight strength?
Unless you want to explain, well, maybe athletics if you want to.
Athletics would be really, really nice.
Okay, then yes, you can use athletics.
Yes. With advantage?
With advantage.
That's 22.
Hey, let's go.
Hey.
22. Yeah. The you watch as Nim does this like proper run up the Still Defender. You can hear the gears sort of turn as they kneel down, and as Nim's foot lands on the shield, there is a soft click, and for a moment, Kalanthor's like, "Oh shit, something broke." And you watch as a spring ignites and just throws Nim through this door. It breaks all of the wooden pieces of board. It is an explosion of splinters as Nim goes crashing through this door, and like a big plume of dust as it settles reveals a sort of prone red form as she leans up on her elbows, giving you guys the thumbs up.
Hell yeah.
Was that fun, Nim?
That was so good. I'm opening every door like that.
You need a locksmith when you have a battle axe.
I know, right? Nim has the biggest grin on her face you have ever seen. Like, she's normally like has like quite a like shy and retiring smile, but this is like full on like cheesy grin. She's
thanks for
having the
reminding me,
best.
Combat.
Uh-oh.
Okay, thank you. As the wide sort of space from this door opens up, it's about 20 paces in terms of to the next door. It's a straight tunnel, sort of arched over, and you can see wooden beams crisscrossing to hold it up. The next door is open, and as you can see, there's like a no light in there. It's very dim, with the new light flooding into this space. Across one of the walls, it's like a you're not too sure what they used, but it was definitely some form of paint in blue. It says "Beware the Snatchers," and a small dick drawn underneath it.
Hmm.
Really, really great artists.
Really are. Can Keenan add a dick to the drawing?
Using what?
Using his paints that he
Sure.
had that he made.
Yeah, go for it.
So he's just gonna do a much more stylized penis.
Okay. Make me a performance check. How good are you at drawing dicks, Keenan?
Apparently not that good. 15.
It's been a while. You're like, I've been working on my portraits. This is, but yeah, it's better than theirs for one. But it is sort of a rudimentary. It's not your best work, but yeah.
Didn't really put much effort into it.
Yeah, their
Your heart
style's
wasn't
more
in it,
like
was it, Keenan?
their style. I would say it's very much like arcane jinx style graffiti, and then like there's like an Art Deco trying to do it, but it's not. It's like almost too real. That's not good enough. And as the more flourished and polished artistry of Keenan, it just looks very out of place.
Yeah. That's
Yeah.
fair. So, yeah, we're definitely in the right place then.
Would you
I
guys
sure
like to
hope
do?
so. Otherwise, I've just upset somebody's day.
Out of interest, after Nim broke through the door, did like anyone around us like react? Is there like anyone going like, "Oh my god," or anything like that in the distance?
I would say you did notice a couple of people like off a little bit further, and you notice there's not a lot of people around here. But as you look off downward, there's an old woman with her head out the window, sort of with an eyebrow cocked. And you do notice as your eye is looking there that a little sort of hooded head is peeked up above a crate, like looking your way. Almost it's not really scared, it's more like curious as to what these people might be doing. And I'd say with what you found so far, it's more curiosity of why people would go somewhere that the Snatchers would be.
Did any of the kiddos move?
One of the people on the roof you would take to be a child.
Mm-hmm. Okay. But guess we have a look around.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We are definitely entertaining the locals.
That is true. Yes. Cool. So are you guys doing anything else here, or are you just going to move straight for the door?
Maybe we should send our new friend in first.
Oh, that's a good shout.
Okay.
Just like one of those like when there's like a bomb, just like you send one of those like little robots in.
Please be a
Okay.
bomb. Please be a bomb.
If it breaks, it will take me a bit to fix, so you won't see me for a day or two after.
I mean, if it
Please be a
breaks,
bomb. Please be
I
a
mean,
bomb.
in the nicest way possible, I would rather it break than we break.
yeah,
Fair. Yeah, that makes sense.
Yeah.
I feel that.
He's kind of like, I get what you mean. It was a lot of work.
Zephyr puts her hand on Callum's shoulder and he goes, "I know you're very attached to her."
I'll move the cloak just to the side so like the light's actually showing, like from the emblem on the chest piece, and then I'll instruct it to move forward just to see if anything does trigger in front of us, and should light up in front of us as well. I think it's up to 10 feet.
Okay. Yeah.
Zephyrs in a monologue is like as nice as the fact that it looks like Sonara is. Like having to potentially watching Sonara explode is not going to be fun.
Yeah, you watch as this homunculus automaton-esque woman. There's a couple of gears that move as it nods its head in response to the instruction and begins walking through the door. She sort of passes out of view, and after a while you hear a soft like ding. Nothing else.
I think we're good, right?
I mean, there was no explosion, so yes.
Just out of interest, because I might need to roll for it, but did the ding sound like a crossbow or something hitting the steel
No,
defender?
it was a positive ding that they have not blown up.
Okay, just checking.
God, you guys are so paranoid.
Can you blame us? Last time it was a changeling that slit someone's throat in front
Yeah,
of
that's
us.
true, actually. Yes, I am very traumatizing. Never mind. Be as paranoid as you want.
Okay.
Yeah, I would say as you guys move into this room, the wide space is about 20 paces across this time, so it's about a square pretty much, and the central feature is a massive iron turntable. It's sunken into a stone trench that's circular, and the metal surface has been scarred and then rusted, and there's soot all over it, and that you can see there's old rails that sort of feed into a platform on top of it with 3 separate channels that go off in different directions. One of the rails is entirely covered in debris and collapsed stone. Another one has been warped and covers another portion of a tunnel. So the only one you have left is the third, which remains largely intact. And as you're sort of looking it over, you can see large tracks into the soot leading off that way. All above, there's deep, heavy chains that are swaying from timber crossbeams. And you can see there's vent shafts and some chutes high up along the walls with iron ringed vents that pierce into the stone. Along the right wall, there is a heavy dwarven workbench, and channels have been cut through the floor to funnel any waste or runoff, you would guess, from the turntable.
Keenan eyes the work table and just says to the group, whoever, no one in particular, I know I've been adventurous in my time, but I'd have to say no to that one.
No to what one?
To being on that table.
Why
with
would you
these
be on that
chains.
table?
Good question. Don't worry about it. When you grow up, we'll tell you.
But I'm grown. Okay.
Meanwhile, completely blinded by pure curiosity of how this thing works, Callum's just run over trying to like inspect how it works, taking notes.
Make me your make me either an Arcana or something.
What's
Either
your highest
Arcana,
stat? Roll that.
yeah, I would say either Arcana or Investigation, depending on if you want to find out depending on what you're using to sort of try and figure this thing out.
Is it like? Would I assume it was like with the runes, like etched with runes and stuff to make it work, or was it purely mechanical from the look?
You'll find out.
Okay, I'll go with Arcana then.
Okay.
Oh, really? 6. I know not to.
You're intelligent enough to understand the non-magical part. In the part of it is a giant turntable for a cart, you would guess, because it's about 10 foot across. You can see crank wheels that would rotate it, and you'd shift the carts between the tunnels. But that's the top platform, and as you're like looking underneath it, there is that iron circular turntable, and there are some small etchings in the stone, but you don't quite understand if it's magical or if it's like a symbolic thing, as you're looking at the wheel.
Could I try and just take a rubbing of it, just so I can like
Sure.
maybe ask my craft guys about it later?
Yeah.
Cool. It looks like this all moves. Does it look like one of them I could like shift it around so we can use a cart to move down the one way that's open, or is it all sealed off?
You don't see a cart that you think would work, and
Okay.
you're not sure if maybe the Steel Defender might be able to lift it, maybe,
I doubt it.
But yeah, you don't see one around for you to use.
Okay. No worries. Well, this looks like it could be really cool. Bit beyond me though. Should we follow those footsteps, or did you guys want to look around a bit more?
No, we can press on.
Yeah, let's continue.
Yeah.
As you move into this next tunnel, let me just double check. You guys suck. Oh, actually, one of you, or two of you, rather, just beat it. So Zephyr and Kalanthar, you both look, and on the ground, leaning towards the end of the room where this last tunnel is a long metal rod with a very wide, flat base, and it's just like in the dirt.
Like a lever?
Like a
Or-
what?
Lever. Like a lever?
It will. I suppose it could be lever-ish.
How long is this rod?
It's about 4 foot. So quite long.
And does it look like it was snapped off, or are we uncertain because it's still buried?
I would say you can see enough that it looks like it has both ends, and it's very intact as far as you can tell. There's no shearing in the metal.
And no, like, nothing in it to make it look like it twists into something or clicks into something.
You'd have to have a look at it.
Okay, Zephyr goes to inspect the rod.
Make me a investigation.
Investigation.
And let me know if you pick it up.
Oh, she doesn't even pick it up. She just kind of leans and looks like at it.
Damn.
That's a 19.
Okay. As you're sort of like looking it around, towards one side there are like small rivets in the base that looks like it would screw into something, or maybe like you press it against something. And at the other end where it like tapers out, it's almost got like a curve to it.
And Zephyr kind of looks up at Khan, goes, and kind of relays this and goes like, "Can you think of anything it would fit into? Like, should we have a look around?"
Yeah, I'm sure there's something it would fit. Is there, do you want like a perception check or investigation, see if I can see anything, or?
Yeah, just another investigation for me.
Oh, come on, that's a 5. Yeah, it's a 5. I don't doubt I see anything.
Well, it just means that you will still sort of figure it out. You just won't know the full details of it. You have already looked at something that has a very similar design to it.
Could I assume it was something to do with the timetable?
The turntable thing?
That's the only thing you've looked at, so yes.
Okay, just checking. I've assumed before and been burned. Part of me really wants to try something, and it probably won't do anything, but can I use one charge of my Wand of Secrets that I made?
Yes, tell me what this Wand of Secret is.
So while holding it, I can take a magic action, expend one charge. If a secret door or trap is within 60 feet of me, it pulses and points me towards it.
What does it look like as you activate this wand that you have created?
I'd probably say it's sort of like twisting oak. He's kind of like tried to mimic how the trees back home look. So it's like interwoven like oak, and then like at the end of it, you see like a feathered inlay. And when he activates it, it kind of goes like a moonlit thing over a pool.
Ooh, yes. Yeah, that energy pulses out. There are no pings.
Okay.
There's no traps, so.
I'll gesture to the steel defender to pick up the rod, just so we can move it around without having to
Yeah.
hamper what we're doing.
Picks it up. You hear like a it's like an ambient hum
Mm-hmm.
as soon as the two things touch, like as soon as its hand touches the metal. But
Mhm.
that's it. It's like a faint vibration.
Is in something's like moving in the distance, kind of thing, or
No, it's like as the two pieces of metal touched.
okay.
Touching tips.
Well, part of me wants to go try this back over there, but I'm okay to continue if you guys want to. This is just me being nerdy engineer, kind of want to work out how things work, but could end up being bad.
How big is this whole space that they're in?
It's about 20 foot across.
Okay. Zephyr is going to use my favorite spell. Zephyr's gonna use Clue.
Ooh.
Remind me on the time for Clue. As in how long ago?
I think it's. Oh wait, one sec. Let's go have a look, shall we? Wait. So first of all, how dusty and like untouched does this whole space look?
Pretty untouched. You can see now that you're looking around at it a little bit more. I won't make you roll for it just in case. You can see like every now and then there is a handprint in like a piece of dust, or like a what looks like a fingerprint moved across things. But even that's slightly covered in a little bit of soot and dust. The long drag marks through the soot in the floor are pretty recent as far as you can tell. But aside from that, that's it.
Up to 10 days. So Zephyr would go up to 10 days.
Okay. Let me read it. Interesting. I mean, the first thing you see is... Let me double check. You see three very distinct probably adult human-sized footprints and fingerprints all over this place. It looks like some are fading, some are more new, and then there is another set of boot prints that stop towards where the drag marks in the floor are, and they sort of tilt, and you can see that's where the feet of that person has been dragged, and that's the fourth person. Aside from that, there is a like a unholy smattering of very small feet and hands that have just been splattered all over the place, and you would probably take that to be the same people who graffitied this area. And there are like, it's definitely more than 5 because they're just all over the place.
Amazing. Where the drag mark, like the fourth person, the dragged one,
Yes.
are they? How big are they?
Their footprints aren't as large as a dwarf's, you would guess. They've got quite like stocky feet because they're heavy. As you're like looking around it, you sort of like cast your eye down, and you can watch that as Keenan moves, his footprints are about the same size. So you guess maybe it's and the imprint that it leaves is lighter than a lot of the rest of the people. So you'd guess maybe they might be an elf. Because quite naturally they're quite light on their feet.
And the you said there were fingerprints as well that don't look like the the graffiti people.
Yeah, it's just it looks like people picking things up, putting things down again.
Is there anything that has like a large amount of fingerprints? Like,
ooh, yes, there is a mallet hanging on the workbench that has a considerable amount of the same person's hand on it.
Okay.
And I would say the same thing of the rod that's currently being held by the Steel Defender.
Yeah, Zephyr's gonna kind of go and investigate near the where this mallet is and see if there's anything else in kind of that area, anything that might look like something that, like, basically to have a look at the mallet and see like what if she can kind of ascertain what the mallet would have been used for, potentially.
Okay, make me another investigation with advantage. And this is to sort of, you'll still see everything, but this is to connect the dots as to what they will mean. Because although you can observe something, you can still be like, what the fuck does that mean?
What is this?
What the fuck is that? Look, I found this clue, and it's a little duck.
Okay, you said it with advantage.
Yes, with advantage.
It's a 16.
Nice, good enough. Yeah, on the workbench, where the mallet is, you can see that there is a logbook, like a soot-blackened book, that has a couple of fingerprints on it. The rod in question is like a short, not the rod, the mallet in question is like a short-handled hammer with a very broad round head. God, say that 20 times faster. And as you're looking at it, and then at the rod, and then at the turntable, they're all made with the same metal. And you would guess that you would strike the mallet onto the turntable.
Oh, okay.
And the rod would do something as well. But you're not quite sure what that would be.
Zephyr's gonna have like... And you said earlier that there was like sort of divots in the rod?
Yes.
Is there anything that looks like around the turntable that has like a corresponding size to these divots? Where it would be placed
Yes, I would say so.
What does that look like? Whereabouts are these? Yeah, I guess she kind of calls over the sorry, just 1 minute. Sorry about that.
That's fine.
So someone dropped something off. Yeah, she would call over Callan's creature. Sorry, I just been watching Frankenstein recently. And basically be like, can you hold this? And I don't know if Zephyr knows if it speaks. But Zephyr will just treat it like it's human.
I think it can understand language. It can't talk itself, though. I think is how it works.
Zephyr's just like, can you place that here, pointing at whatever looks like it would match.
So it understands Calanthar's instructions.
Okay. I'll just relay on what Zeph said.
Actually, intelligence of 4. No, actually, I would say it understands any of the languages that you speak. So
Okay.
yes, because you can speak common.
Yeah, I'll just gesture it to kind of follow Zeph's lead.
Yeah, as you walk over to this large iron turntable, you can see that although there's a platform on the top, there is a hole at the top that's about the same size as that rod. And the Steel Defender sort of like lifts its arm and shoves it into the hole. Giggity.
Where there's a hole, there's something else.
Where there's a hole, there's a definite innuendo that follows.
Exactly.
Pow.
And you hear a soft click as it is placed in place.
Do we like Zephyr's like looking, seeing if anything moves.
Nothing.
Gives it a
You do
second.
notice that as it puts it in place and the defender like lets go, the vibration stops.
Okay.
Okay, so it's like Callum will just like kind of go up to where he was before, where he saw the rune thing, and just go to the Steel Defender. Right, touch that again.
Yeah, just puts its finger onto the metal of the rod, and
Does
you
the
feel that
ra-
vibration in the air.
Does the rune do anything
Nope.
this time?
But do you like need to? Does it look like if you pushed it or pulled it or turned it,
Yeah.
like it moved?
Does it actually look like a lever when it's like there,
No,
or is it like a twisty thing?
It just looks like the middle piece of this circular piece of iron.
Part of me wants to try something, but I don't think it'll work. I'm gonna go up to where I saw those like runes on it, and I'm just gonna burst a shocking grasp through my hands to see if it sparks anything with the mechanism.
Interesting. Make me a Constitution save.
You fly back 25 feet. Constitution save. Ooh, that's not good. That's a 4. I'm rolling manual dice because D&D Beyond is screwing me.
I never trust digital dice.
Yeah, that's a 4.
Okay, you take 8 points of lightning damage as the entire piece of this circular massive piece of metal and the rod, you watch as the electricity spans over it and then immediately hits the rod and comes right back at Callan.
Full,
And you
like,
just feel that
electric.
instant heat as it rolls up the side of your arms.
Yeah. I'd probably say like the ponytail's gone like all static at this point and like slightly singed. He just kind of like dusts himself off. Right, that didn't work.
I
Ow.
will say, by doing that, you know 2 things. One, it is very conductible, as you're like, ow. But the other one was that it seemed to roll towards the metal rod and then come back to the point of origin.
Could I have a look around, see if there's like a break in the circuit at all? Like there's like a missing piece in the...
I would say if you want to roll me a history or just a straight intelligence check as you're trying to connect the dots between the two. And I'd say, Zeph, if you're proficient in history, you can help him.
I am not proficient in history.
Well, fuck him then.
Alright. Ooh, 21.
Ooh. As you're like looking around it, until Kazvira, nothing in Cardinor seems to be overly magical in terms of construction. So until her influence and the spire especially, there isn't anything that would give an air of anything other than like some enchantments into objects. You don't think that it would be some sort of electrical circuit because nothing is that advanced yet. We're talking other campaign. They're heading towards that way. But as you're sort of like moving it over, you look back at Zephyr, and when she was looking over stuff, like I said, there was that mallet that someone had been holding a lot, and the only thing you can think of is the curiosity of what would happen if you use that mallet for its purpose.
Yeah. I'll sort of like shout down to Zeph, check out that hammer, and then I'll pass it to the steel defender and just instruct it to like smack the top of the rod.
Okay.
Zev kind of gingerly passes it over, and then as soon as she kind of like knows what is being planned, shoves her fingers in her ears.
Perfect. As
Wait,
like there's a
blow
like
the
a
bridge
soft like rolling chinks of metal as the steel defender lifts its arm up, and brings. How hard are you telling it to hit this thing?
Does the mechanism look like quite rusted, or is it like?
It is covered
used?
in rust, but it looks pretty. It's dwarven made. Man, this is sturdy shit.
Yeah. I'd probably say pretty hard, just so like enough that it would like bust through, like if it's like rusted over and stuff.
Okay. What should I
It's got
roll?
+2 to its strength, so.
1d8. Okay. 1d8.
A little bit strong. It's stronger than Callum.
What the fuck are
Let's put it that way.
Oh shit, that's an 8. As it brings this down onto the turntable, you hear a massive, like, huge gong run out as a deep metallic note rolling around the chamber. Almost like there is a little bit of you, Zephyr, that's like, ooh, thunder, but it's too metallic. It doesn't sound quite the same. And as it rolls through the turntable, you can feel it move the earth as like some of the soot and the pebbles on the ground begin to shake almost, as the sound keeps going on far longer than it should have and doesn't cut off. I would say, Kalanthar, you're nearest, as you can hear this slow, like high-pitched whine coming from the rod. It almost pierces your ears painfully, but it's not enough, as like a layered vibration travels down through the earth, and you can hear it slowly coming back up as that pitch becomes louder and louder, before it hits the metal rod and sort of rings out. And as it does, you can actually see the explosion of force as almost like a I'm trying my best to figure out how to explain it. Almost like when you see like a slow motion effect of a bubble created from and sort of rings out through all of you. No painful, but you just feel the vibration like all the way into your core. Keenan's a little bit like, ooh, yeah, do that one again. But it just vibrates through, hits the stone, and then just rolls off.
Incredibly over-tuned tuning fork, essentially.
Yeah.
A
And
little
I'd say
bit louder than I
with that,
expected.
the man you'd met earlier said that they used cinder wheels to listen to the stone. And the more you're looking at it, and you're like, it's not really magical, it's just very well-made physics, in a way. It's science. It's science and magic, essentially. So this rod had been maybe in charge, but it's definitely amplifying vibration. And this construction, the cinder wheel, when it's hit, will send out that pulse of vibration. And once it hits whatever you're looking for, it will ping back the echolocation of that object back into the rod. And the top curve on the top point is where you put your head next to, so you can listen to it.
Ooh.
I want to hit it again, but I want to check it's cool with everyone else first.
Zephyr kind of like pulls her fingers out of his and is like, sure.
I mean, they would have heard the first one, so there's no problem doing a second.
I'll walk over and give it a tap and put my ear where I need to put it. Do I have to give an instruction of what I'm listening for, or is it just kind of like ping back something?
It's not magical, no.
I know.
You
just
just
checking.
listen for what you're listening.
This time, Zephyr closes her eyes and tries to like tune into, I guess, like the movement of like the air around her.
Ooh, okay. Let me get this back up. There we go. Sorry, I lost all my ambience. Okay. For the second strike. Fuck me, that's another 8. The mallet sort of rebounds slightly from the force of it, and the resonance blooms through the floor this time, and you watch as all of the soot around you is instantly blown across the floor. And now that it is, you can see more. They're not arcane in nature, but they are just curves that have been carved into the stone as you watch the vibrations bounce all along them. The chains overhead begin to sway, and through the rod, Callan, you hear like a dripping water, and you instantly know it's miles away. You can hear a metallic screech of an ore chart from about 20 miles down and slightly to the right. You can hear like a slow rush of air, Zephyr, through a narrow shaft. Further on down, the only other option through, the only other tunnel through this station. And I'd say for you, as like a callback, as you're listening to it, and like it all stops, there begins a like slow answer of like drum beats as that resonance is pinging back. You can hear a deep pulse of ringing vibrations of people hitting drums before it like rings out and stops.
Zephyr is kind of like just kind of tilts her head a little bit, like trying to follow sort of the you know the sounds as are happening around her, the kind of the direction of this air, and all the vibrations, and then once it stops, she like looks around again to kind of see what's physically changed around them, and at that point, she'll look over at Callan and go, I heard them again. I heard the drums.
She's going crazy, guys.
Well, maybe there's a party down here. He kind of just tries to like make light of it, even though he knows it probably is dangerous.
Whilst this is going on, as the soot is blown apart, Keenan, you look across and you can see a leather satchel. It's like a light beige leather with a curved emblem of a tree on the flap. That's the wrong word. You know what I mean.
Yeah.
It is filigreed with pieces of gold and has a solid gold clasp on it.
Q will certainly go over, pick it up, open it, look inside.
Yeah, sure. Inside you can see a perfectly pure silver badge of a crescent moon. You can see a map of this guy's not an artist, like crudely drawn arrangements of parts of the Sootway. And I would say this fills in another sort of path on your map. That there is a set of tunnels that lead outside underneath the gate. So if you needed to, you could get out without anyone knowing. I mean outside as in out the mountain.
Oh, cool.
There's a lot of flakes of like blue, like resin almost. It looks like glass, but it's a little like flexible. And there's a tin whistle with like an X etched into it, and a piece from a journal that looks like it completes the end of the report that you had. And it mentions cult testing, searching for Stormborn.
So Keenan will absolutely relay that he's found this. It probably belongs to Cutter, but he'll say like interestingly they're testing for Stormborn, and he kind of just looks at Zephyr at that point.
Like, as soon as he says Stormborn, like, Zephyr's just like, gaze just snaps to him and it's just like, wait, what? Who?
The cult is testing for Stormborn. It's what this report says.
And like,
yeah.
her face kind of scrunches up, like, with her, like, trying to think about the, like, the repercussions of that, I guess. And she's just like, as in, and she kind of points at herself.
Yep, indeed. I think people like you, or your mum, specifically.
Zephyr, do you want to make me an insight check?
Sorry, me?
Yes.
So I've got a small dog walking on me, and I'm like, how do animals always know where your kidneys are? Just step with that. Oh my god! Ow! With their powerful paws. So what? That was an insight.
Yes.
Yes. Do I have insight? That was a 21.
There aren't many references to Stormborn other than what you know of, which is the big guy, your mum, you, and potentially maybe Air Genasi.
Yeah.
Any of the cultists, that at least that you know of, or that you only seen a couple of them, never claim to be born, because that would be heresy, you would think. They might follow him, sure, but they'd never claim a heritage that wasn't theirs.
Why
so
do
it'd
you...
definitely have to be something from you or where you come from.
Wait, sorry. These cultists.
Mm-hmm.
Do we know that they follow him?
Well, they're called the Cult of the Shattered Storm, so...
Okay, so that's an assumption.
The inference being...
Essentially, yes.
Yeah.
And then she kind of looks and she goes, does that mean if they're with him, that they're looking for more like him?
Possibly, or
Or
his
specific
relatives.
people? Yeah.
Or him.
Zephyr's, or him, I guess. Yeah. And Zephyr's just like, her mind's just immediately just like, oh no, my mom's in danger. Which is why she's like, so.
Like we said before, there's no such thing as coincidences.
Right.
Definitely sounds like we need to sniff out this cult. Kill a few,
Yeah.
more than two birds with one stone now.
Oh, so many birds. So many stones.
We really should like keep a list of all the things we need to do.
I know. I it would be nice to just finish one thing at a time. Why can't we ever finish one thing at a time? Why do so many things have to come up at once?
It
No,
keeps
like
things interesting, I guess.
if buses existed, Zeph would make a reference to waiting for one bus and several arrive at once. But yeah, she's just kind of sighs and is like, okay, I with the and she kind of goes with the ringing. Other than those drums, I just it didn't seem like there was anything else that I was picking up on apart from, and then she kind of points in the other direction of, so yeah, the direction from like down that narrow corridor that you said that she kind of heard like the air being forced through it. Yeah. Is there anything else in the bag?
Not as far as you can tell.
And then she looks at Cal and goes, Is there anything else you wanna have a look around for in here? Or shall we keep going?
I don't think there's much else we can do in here. It sounded like there was some water further down, but it's quite a way down the tunnel, so God knows how far this thing actually goes.
Mm-hmm.
I'm okay to proceed if you want to. I could spend all night looking at how these mechanisms work, so you're probably best just to drag me when you guys want to leave.
Time to leave then. I've got a team member to rescue, and orphans to rescue, and cultists to beat up. So many birds, Zephyr. So many birds to deal with.
Too many birds. And then yeah, she goes to continue on.
Okay. As you guys move through this space, the tunnels narrow again until you reach essentially a collapsed ore chute that you would guess maybe once fed stone and slag into sorting belts, and you can see different like beginnings of machinery and leftover belts. Some parts of the supports have given way, and it leaves a very tilted drop, peppered with like pieces of plank and rail and broken stone. And as you're looking at it, you would guess that maybe you need to be a little bit more dexterous in your traversing of this as it heads downwards. You would either have to brace and sort of push your way through the slope, or sort of weave your way over and try and jump across the broken rail slats. Other than that, you'd probably hurt yourself. You can see the bottom of where the chute goes to, and it's not too far down, but it would definitely hurt if you fell down it.
Is there anywhere to attach a rope?
Yeah, I would say so.
Okay. So Keenan's gonna look at everyone else and go, hold on for a second. He's gonna touch rope somewhere at the top, and then he is gonna weave and jump to get across, but then have the rope for people to hold on to and guide to prevent a fall.
Okay, make me an acrobatics check as you sort of leap your way across.
Acrobatics or athletics, because he's going to run and jump and weave and dash across walls.
So that would be acrobatics. If
Yeah,
you want to try and just like
No,
force
no,
your way up, then it'd be athletics.
It's a 15.
Yeah, that's fine. You watch as he sort of he does leap a little bit, and then as he hits the other side, his legs start to fall, and just like getting those glute squats in, the legs sort of hold in, and he begins like moving step by step back up, and you have hold of the rope.
There you go.
So I would say that would
maybe
give,
a bit safer.
I would say that give the other two of you athletics or advantage on whatever way you would like to try and get across.
Zephyr, so we're gonna do all this. Zephyr's gonna fly across.
Nice. Nice.
Quick
I was wondering
question.
if you'd remember that. What does it look like
So-
as Zephyr just casually activating your innate flight?
Yeah, she just kind of just breathes in and then kind of lets the tension and things kind of leave her body. And you see as she kind of breathes out, her body just kind of slowly starts to float up. And she doesn't like go for like crazy amounts of like height or anything. Like she's not trying to show off. It's just like a clear show of that, like she's no longer making contact with the ground, and just kind of will tilt forwards, sort of her torso and head kind of leading the way a little bit more, and kind of just gracefully float over to where Keenan is.
Yeah, I love it. I would even go as far as we have like little like we have a little flash of like all of these things in Zephyr's in and how you've been so far, in the like an image of you leaving home and saying goodbye to your father and making the trek all the way to where you found yourselves, and then the ship, and then like the problems in the city, and then like everything just piling on top, and then this image of you and Venra arm in arm, embraced, and it just seems to float away. And as it does, that gentle lift, and I would say you've seen Zephyr, you've seen her use flight before, obviously, but there's something different about this, as like her hair is once again moving even more with the air around her, and you watch as the ripples of static all along her sort of coalesce around her plate armor, as she just very casually, almost comically past Kalinthar, just like making her way across to the other side, and the feet just lightly touching the ground. Kalinthar, what's your plan?
I was mainly trying to work out how I'm going to get the defender across.
I was interested in that as well.
So it does have proficiency in athletics.
Yes.
So, I guess I kind of do like a similar thing to what I did with him earlier with the defender. So I'll like gesture it to kind of give me a shield bump, and then I'll do the acrobatic like flippy thing across.
Mm-hmm.
So that's with advantage, right? From
Yep.
the rope thing. Oh, thank God that was advantage. That's a 21.
Yep, easily
me.
done.
And then for the defender, it is. What's 2? Efficiency
So it's basically +4. That's 19 for the Steel Defender.
Yeah. There is like a grace with Zephyr, and even a little bit of Calanthai as you like do a little flip in the air and land on the other side. There is no grace with this Steel Defender. It is just pure like, if this thing had willpower, it would be that. It's like grit and determination. Just like Keenan, you can feel it like really pulling on the rope as it just like foot over foot, like some part of it sinks into the soot, and it's just like one after the next. You watch as it's moving, a piece of rail goes to like distend itself and like fall on the Steel Defender, and it's just like moves it out of the way with one hand and makes it to the other side. And as it does, you hear like a little ding, and that's
I like to think that the Steel Defender, like when he was making it, he's just poured in all those times he's fallen off a cliff, and he's just like, grit your teeth.
It's got angular feet, so it can work the cliff's edge, right?
Yeah,
You say you hear a little
crimp-ons.
you say you hear a little ding. Once again, we check. Was that a sound of a crossbow?
Yes. Oh my god. I'm gonna get like a little bell, just like ding. Like one of those hotel bells. Yeah. As you guys congratulating yourselves a little bit, turn and face the other way. You can see that two huge metal pipes run almost the full length of the wall in front of you. Both pipes are sort of hissing, and you can see one of them is almost trembling, nice, with internal pressure, and there's a lot of condensation over it. There is a faint whistle, and just after, there is a preceding burst of hot steam that sort of sprays downwards across the entire tunnel. And you can see rust orange stain marks where steam is sort of scorched into the stone. And as you approach, there is a hot fog that begins to roll over your boots. I would say you can, if you want, take a little time to sort of observe this and see if you notice any patterns. Or if you just want to straight go for it, you can make a dex save to just jump and see if you can time it right.
Including dex save, including the flight, or I feel like Zephyr would like hover and kind of keep an eye and try and like.
I would
time
say with that you can do yours at advantage, but it could only because still rolling only because you'd have to time it, because it could be that you won't need to like jump through it, but you could be like halfway through it and then be like fuck, and it's just like
That's hot.
That's really hot.
So we're dexing our way through it then?
If you want to.
Yep.
Okay.
+6 for me.
That was a 14.
So
Success.
16 from me.
That's also a success.
22 for me.
Awesome. Yeah. You all in your own way just make your you watch
What about the
as
Steel Defender?
you watch
The
as
Steel
Zephyr's
Defender was
just
a
sort of,
23.
like floats straight through.
Better than me.
Calanthar, you do like this little like almost like in a movie where you just jump through the hole and sort of roll off the other side. I'd say for Keenan, there is like he times it so well that as he's sort of jumping through, the steam behind him just erupts, and it's like you watch his hair sort of rolling in the wind, and like the background of steam. Part of his like tunic opens a little bit. You can see the little chest area, and the way that he's done it is that he's jumped and sort of gone like completely prone in midair and using the momentum to just slip his prone body straight through the gap. So he's almost like lying down as there's steam behind him and like lands the other side. And then just it like you just watch as like the gears turning behind like one of like a small piece of plate you can see in the gap. That steam happens, the gears turn, and then just as it stops, you hear a ding, and you haven't seen this defender, like a lot of the time it's been moving around, it's like slow, like deliberate movements, a lot of like brute force. It just erupts into movement as it copies Kalinthar, like move for move, like jumping through and then landing and rolling off its back and like standing up almost immediately, and then like a soft ding as like it's like if you finish a microwave, like but one of like the old microwaves. You know, the ones that like they make the really cool sound and not the weird electronic beep.
Yeah.
Like the really, really good ones.
Internally, Karen's like a proud dad right now, just turning around, just going, "I'm so proud of them."
Zephyr's holding up like a little piece of paper that says 10.
Yes. Yes, amazing.
Keenan has not noticed at all. He's looking around for everyone to like admire what he's just done.
Is
No,
Keenan
Zephyr's
like
looking at
landed
the-
in the draw me like one of your French girls position?
If he wants to, sure, yeah. I would use, so he goes like prone, and instead of like rolling like you guys do, he just like skids across like the soft soot, just like as it like to a stop, almost gently. It's caressful as he lands. I'd say with all 3 successes on those challenges, I'm going to give you a little reward. As Zephyr, your ears still ringing ever so slightly. You can feel as you're still, you're still flying. You can feel like almost the changes in the air, and down like a small portion of in the wall there is like a hole, and as you sort of cast your eye, you can see it just goes straight down into a cavern. And as you're looking, you get a little curious, you like move that way and you can feel the change in the air pressure. You can hear what sounds like a screech and a massive flap of wings from deep into the earth. And it's not like massive in terms of like serpentine dragon-esque. It's like it's almost like a rodent screech and like a deft flap and almost like a gliding sound as you watch a massive silhouette of like this winged creature pass about a couple of miles down this tunnel. And as it passes through, you can see soft pink blue light sort of reflects off of it. And as it does, can you make a perception check for me?
Oh no. Wow, I roll terribly. Yep, I rolled a 10.
That's fine. You still see it, but obviously you don't see the full details. Well, actually, if any of the other 2 are proficient, they might be able to give you a little bit of help as you sort of move their eyes.
Zeph, what's that?
There we go. Remember, guys, if there is a skill check and you can help in some way, if you are proficient, you can give them advantage. You can be like, can I also look?
I'll actually roll worse. Okay, wait. No, I did. I rolled a 9.
That is so impressive. I tried to help.
I know.
Yeah, for a moment you see like a stirring of dust into a spiral, and this huge broad winged you can see it maybe fur. You're not too sure as its wings catch like a pink light, and at first you'd think maybe the light is coming from like up, but you notice that it's only as it's on like a bank that it's catching the light from further down. And you can see like almost translucent veins in the spreading of the wings as it's banking, and atop it you can see almost like a small thing on its back, like almost like a tick, like it's tiny compared to this massive creature, and as it's banking you can see like a glint of white sort of fluttering in the wind before it's gone. Obviously, you didn't see everything.
Oh. She's very confused right now. And once again, she's thinking to herself, one side quest at a time. And she kind of like looks at the others, and it's just like, oh, they already think I'm crazy because of the fucking drums. And she like tries to commit like all to memory, because I mean, I'm assuming she's never seen or can't like imagine unless I can.
I
roll
would
some sort of
say it was
history.
too dark for you
Uh-huh.
to like figure out what this would be, because of that
Okay.
perception roll.
Okay, yeah, she's just like, for like trying to commit what she
Mhm.
thinks
Could
she
I-
saw, or like the very kind of basics.
Did I try
So,
and
yeah.
piece together what it might be based off of what Zeph can remember?
I would
She
say
doesn't say anything.
yes. You can make
But
a
she doesn't say anything.
survival.
Oh, you
she
didn't
doesn't
say it.
Ooh,
Oh.
No, because
Ooh.
she thinks everyone thinks she's crazy.
amazing! I love it.
Yeah.
Even
Okay.
better.
That's pretty funny. I like that. Sorry, I didn't hear that it was internal.
No, it's all good. It's all good. Yeah, she thinks they all think she's crazy. Yeah. So she has not said anything. She might say something later, but right now, no.
We're all crazy. Let's be fair.
True.
To be fair, it was in Cutter's report that he heard drums too.
Oh. But yeah, she's not going to say anything right now. Later.
Mhm.
Yeah.
So, like, I guess we just continue on.
Okay. As these channels constrict into probably the narrowest piece yet, and the walls pressing close, your shoulders are brushing against them. You hear like a soft, and like Kalanthar's eye twitching as the metal of the steel defender is slowly being. It's like if you accidentally bump your car and it's like being like slowly grated against
Oh no.
pieces of the stone, and then after a while it just like looks down and like turns sideways and then just begins moving that way.
The way I imagine this thing to move is kind on, and like the scale of it is like Baymax.
Yeah, in fact,
Yes.
that is the perfect explanation for how this thing moves.
Yeah. But like Baymax, if Baymax was not made of, you know, a
of
giant inflatable
marshmallow. Yeah. Every sound, every vibration down here, the pressure of being so far deep into these tunnels as you are, you begin to feel it on your skin almost, until finally the tunnels open. And first comes a sound. It's not drums, it's almost like a low chanting. And a wide arch of carved stone. You can see ancient dwarven workmanship. There's been reinforced with newer iron plates and bracketed rails. In the far distance, you can see chalk sigils and fresh lines ring the threshold, and some mining tools have been scattered about the entrance. There's steam drifting across the opening in like long pieces of ribbons. And you can hear people chanting. Almost like some sort of low song or ancient call. And as you're looking that way, you notice off to your right, the tunnel keeps going down a little bit further, and you can hear like a load of I'd say for Zephyr, you especially can hear like a load of scuffling and scratching, and you know that it's about 5 minutes further down, and going that way won't conflict with what's ahead of you either. And the reason I'm giving you guys this information is you have a choice. There are cultists ahead of you. That much is abundantly clear with the creepy chalk runes and chanting. However, there is also something else further to the right. Something of interest. One is a definite combat. I can tell you that right now. The cultists are crazy. They are crazy people. It will be an insane persuasion check from the world's sexiest elf for him to be able to diffuse that situation with his chest hair.
Oh my god, Zephyr's dad's here?
I mean, no, right?
Yeah.
To be honest, I do imagine him as a bit of a dilf. I mean, to bag that woman, I mean, you've gotta be packing some briz. I'll make him a stat sheet. His charisma will be 23.
Amazing.
And
Wait,
everything else will be
wait.
1.
Have you
Yeah.
seen Dimension 20?
Yes, of course I have.
He's like the opposite. He's like the opposite of Galir.
Yes, the anti-Galir, yeah,
The
absolutely.
anti-Galir, yeah.
However, so yes, you have immediate combat towards you, or you can go to
Okay.
your right and explore down there. The reason I'm giving you this option, and I wouldn't have otherwise, is you are currently missing 2 of your party members. I can't say
Yeah,
for
I do.
sure what might happen in that chamber, because I can balance it, but it's definitely much more useful with 5 of you or 4 of you. But it's up to you.
So wait, we hear chanting.
Yes, you can hear chanting ahead of you, and then further down towards where you saw that weird creature flying, you can hear some scuffling and what seems to be people arguing with each other.
Is either the chanting or the potential people arguing, are either of these sounds decipherable in like words? Even if they're not languages that any of them understand, is it decipherable enough as like a language, or is it just like noise at this point?
I'd say for you, you can tell that the people ahead of you are definitely speaking some version of primordial. At least that's what the song chant vaguely sounds
So
like.
the chanting people,
Yes.
not the arguing people. Okay.
Not the other people. The other people is definitely communication. They are arguing about something, but you have no idea what they're saying.
With the chanting and the volume of the chanting, is it decipherable if it's a small number of people or a large number of people?
Make me a perception check.
Perception.
How many people is that we can hear, Zeph?
Is that you giving
Zeph, what do you-
advantage?
What do
What's
your
that I
elven ears
hear?
That's a 17.
Ooh. I would say it's hard for you to tell, but you're pretty sure there's more than 3.
Okay.
And less than 1,000.
Zephyr's gonna kind of just like put her finger up to kind of her lips, kind of in a like a shh like motion, and then say like so the others can hear the
Yeah,
chanting
you
as
can
well?
both hear them, but
yeah.
you can just tell a little bit.
Could
Because
the
they're
others hear
speaking.
can the others hear the scuffling?
Yeah.
Okay. And she's like, I don't know. Which way should we? And she kind of points towards the chanting and goes, I don't know if we're going to be able to get
I will say that in this situation, Nim and Persephone are maybe having some trouble with one of the obstacles.
Okay. Yeah, she's just like, we don't have everybody here right now. And I don't know if this is if they're looking for Stormborn. If these are the people, then maybe we don't go that way. And then she points to the other ways and goes, but there's also people this way. And she kind of looks at the others to be like, help.
Well, we've got a room full of crazy people chanting in some language that I don't really know. Or two guys arguing, probably over who stole whose drink. Probably drunk in the corner. I vote we go with the two guys arguing.
Yeah, as much as I want to kill cultists, I think we should go in full strength. So let's investigate the guys arguing.
Yeah.
I can normally defuse a good argument.
The way towards the argument, what is the terrain kind of like? Is it still like quite difficult to get around?
No,
Still?
it looks like it's like constructed stone.
Okay. So yeah, Zephyr's still like hovering, trying to but we'll let, I guess, Keenan and Callan are stealthier, so we'll let them. And I guess she'll stay further back with the our large friend, large robot friend.
Just in case it does come up as a thing, Lycane, the Steel Defender has a thing that's basically alert, so it can't be surprised. Just in case it crops up at all. It's like vigilant something. So I'll keep the Steel Defender with Zeph at the back, and we'll, as we're like going past the passageway for the, as we move forward, like actually me and Keen are doing stealthy boy thing. I'll kind of like, if there's like a rock on the wall, like on that entrance, I'll touch it and essentially make it a stink bomb, so if someone walks past it, it emits like an odor that smells like death, just so we can hear someone if they come past behind us.
They just start dry heaving.
Yeah, literally. I'd probably say it probably would smell like fermented owlbear, like pellet. It's probably what he'd probably make it try and smell.
No.
So I'll continue on with Keenan if he's ready.
Yep. We will sneak forward.
Okay. As you're making my way through and into this room, you can see it widens into a low ceiling hall, essentially. And there's different rails of smaller what looks like smaller minecarts crossing the floor. There's ducts overhead, and the dust a bit has been disturbed by a load of very small, frantic footprints. And ahead you can see clustered with coin purses, a couple of crates, very small figures in hoods that are covering their heads, and like soot sort of casts all across their faces as they're sort of arguing amongst themselves. Two of them are holding the same coin purse and like pulling one to the next. There is a moment where the visual, as you're like looking across them, you realize that you have come into contact with the thieving orphans of Châtellon slums as they're talking amongst themselves. You can see muffled from inside a crate, you can hear a voice like, "Who put me in a crate? Spindle, get me out of the crate!" And one of them's like trying to sort of like hold down their little feet dangling in the air as they're like pushing down on the crate and giggling to themselves. And it's this whole moment as you're sort of like walking up behind them. You hear Spindle's like, "You climbed in the crate, ha ha ha," and the other one inside the crate's like, "I climbed in metaphorically. Someone did it literally." And he's like, and one off to the side, sort of like listening to one of the pipes, is like, I don't like the way the pipes sound. and like another one off to one side is like, it's because you stole that gear from that really tall bloke, and now we're gonna die, and they're gonna come after us. And the other one's like, no, they won't come out. And as he says that, he like moves his head round and like immediately clocks Keenan like straight in the face. You watch as all of the ones apart from the one that's pushing on top of the crate immediately freeze mid action, like some mid heist, like looking over their collections. The other one who's like pushing down on the crate, his little legs swinging in the air as he like looks your way. It is in that moment that, as you may have guessed, the orphans, as you can see through the smattering of soot across their faces, and now that you can see their hands a little bit more clearly as he's pressing down on the crate, there's a tinge of green and like long claws, as the loudest one sort of yelps in the air, and he's like, tall folk, freeze! And they all like freeze midair. And one of them was like, this wasn't the mission, Miz. This was your idea. And the other one's like, blend in, be a rock, be a rock. And he's standing like perfectly still. He's very clearly not a rock. He's like, as like his hood falls down, you see the long poking ears of a goblin with a little earring sort of dangling as he's like, and like one off to the side, you can hear him be like, we're going to be arrested. I knew it. I feel it in all 6 of my bones. And the one in the crate's like, you have more than 6 bones, you stupid dimwit. And they're all frozen.
Excellent. Keenan is gonna wave and go, hi. No one's gonna be killed. None of you are gonna be killed, and no one's gonna be arrested. We just want to make some friends, and actually, we think you guys are fucking super clever and smart because you were able to pickpocket us, and so we wanted to get to know you.
The moment Keenan starts talking, Zephyr is like, okay, no need to be sneaky, and just continues to like basically catch up with them. So she's now with them.
Yeah.
Still floating.
Yeah,
What's
you
their
watch.
reaction to the still defender turning up?
No, you watch as Zephyr sort of like comes out of the darkness floating. They all like are just about to relax, and like you floating, and then this robotic metal creature, like the gears whirring as it like one foot steps out. They begin to relax, and then immediately just like all freeze. And one of them's like, maybe they can't see movement like cave lizards. The other one's like, they're not cave lizards, they have eyes. You can see they have eyes. And they're all like still frozen. And there's like one of them eventually, who's a little bit like larger than the rest of them. He's like, so we weren't doing anything. Anything at all. And like one off to the side's like, this isn't even stolen. This is a family heirloom, and it's literally a cog. Like just a cock. He's like, this is my family heirloom. And as he said, like turns it, you can see like property of Cardinal City Forges written on the side of the piece of metal. And he's like, please don't hurt us.
We are not cave lizards. We are not going to hurt you. And I sincerely hope you are up to something, because it would be terribly boring if you wasn't. In fact, how about I give you an advance on a chat with us? All we want is to have a chat. But I will pay you for your time, because that's how these things work. And Keenan is going to take, if it's still there, his very obvious coin purse, which has about 15 gold in it, and he's going to throw it towards the nearest one.
Okay. As you sort of like conjure out this coin purse, you watch all of their eyes sort of widen, but you watch one of them off to one side. There's like a small smirk, and as you check for that one, you notice that your actual coin purse isn't there. And you notice like on his little like he's got like a smattering of like belts that just like they aren't like meant to be like across your shoulders and like used this way, and one's been wrapped around twice, but it's clearly belts he's stolen from other people, more like dwarven-sized people, and he's now using as like accessorize. And dangling
is
from
he,
his
like-
belt is a coin purse with a little green dolphin, just little, and he's like he's still frozen, like, but like trying to hide like a small smile, like.
I gonna clock him and go, do you know, that's impressive considering where I keep that purse.
It's just like the smile gets a little bit wider. There's like an eyebrow.
Zeph is like, you really don't want to know where he keeps that purse.
I mean, he does know. He's got it.
He knows.
Yeah.
So how about it? How about we all have a chat? We promise not to do any violence unless you commit violence against us. How's that?
Yeah, you watch as Miz turns to the larger one. He's like, Ruck, you can't tell them because they could be the spooky people. Don't tell them. And then Ruck's like looking at the money and then looking at Miz and then like looking at the money again, and you can see like almost like Puss in Boots sized eyes, just like deal, and the other's like fuck. Okay. Money first. Gimme.
Yep, it's in this purse.
He like scampers forwards on like all four, all like hands and feet. Yes, on all fours towards you, and like gently moves his hand up to grab the purse.
Take it.
Yeah, takes it.
So I don't know if you heard us when we were talking or read the note that my friend wrote. We're actually looking to employ some smart folk such as yourselves.
I'm smart.
I can tell. You're very smart because you are the one that said we can have a deal, and that means you get the highest pay.
You see like smiles and there's a little blush.
Aww.
As this conversation's going on, some of the others are like slowly lowered their hands, but the one Grebe who's currently Miz, who's currently like still pushing down on the crate as it's like rattling, is just like holding his hands there and just like staring intently at Cananthar, almost like murderous, like he could snap at any second, sort of.
You right there, bud?
And he's just like holding onto the crate, and eventually like you hear this like soft crack, and a really large it's like a orange, like dark brown colored skin of skin. It's such a weird description. Dark orange brown head just like pops up, and you can see that he is a good foot taller, you would guess, than the rest of them, and like very more broad-shouldered, as this like massive form comes splintering out of the crate, and you watch as Miz is like, oh fuck, like up at Grebe. But meanwhile, Ruck is like, yes, I am good at talking, and I am the leader, and Miz like gives him a glare, and he's like, apart from him, I'm the leader of everyone but him. He's crazy.
Wait, which one's the one that was grinning because they stole from Keenan?
That
Miz.
is I've got to remember this right. Spindle's Grebe is in the crate. It's Spindle.
Spindle. Okay, so Zeph has been keeping an eye on that one because that one's extra sneaky. But as the larger thing comes out of the crate, she looks kind of eyes flick over for a sec, and then flick back over to Spindle and was like, do you keep all your friends in a box?
He like looks at Grebe, and Grebe's like, he looks back. Yes, because it's funny.
Oh. Okay.
Zeph, it's funny.
And then and Zeph just goes, is it obvious that like would they know like sort of the difference in green goblin versus slightly larger goblin?
Do you want to make me
I was gonna ask
a
that.
history or survival check for me?
Would somebody like to help me? Because I don't.
I'm not.
very
I'm
bad
not
at both.
proficient, but I have advantage when I
Oh.
talk about it. So how does that work? Can I help or not?
You have, I believe, advantage on Faith Fiend and Undead, I think.
Yeah, it's 18. I think it's 18. Check.
And goblins are none. We are
I mean,
goblins.
I'm just gonna.
No, it's not.
Wow.
I cannot help.
So what you said, history or what was the other one?
History
Was it
or
just-
survival? Oh, actually,
Oh, survival I can help with. I'm proficient in that.
Let's go. Okay, well my first one was high, 17.
Nice. You would guess, would probably be some version of a hobgoblin.
Oh god.
They are typically larger and more brutal and very strong.
And when they throw explosives, they look like pumpkins. No.
You would guess, is probably on the small side for a hobgoblin. It might be why he hangs out with these ones. You're not too sure.
Aww.
Because normal hobgoblins are between like 4.5 to 6 foot, depending.
Yeah.
Whereas he's like 4, maybe 4 and a bit.
And yeah, Zephyr kind of looks back at Keenan, basically like, Keenan, do you want to continue? Because Zephyr's getting nowhere talking to these guys.
Sure. So, as I said, we are spooky people, but not the same spooky people that you're worried about. We're actually, if it's okay with you, wanting to get rid of the spooky people.
You make them disappear?
Yeah. If we can, or as many of them as we can. Maybe not like completely disappear, like their bodies might be left behind.
Oh, for things?
For things, yeah. Yeah.
So
Yeah.
we talk, you give money. And like
Yes.
jangles
So
the...
yeah, absolutely. We talk. I give you the money, but the reason I want to talk to you is because you guys are obviously so much smarter because you live down here, and you probably know more about the spooky people than we do.
We accept your deal. And like they all immediately, well, most of them, apart from Spindle, sit cross-legged in a little circle, like around Keenan, just like.
Okay. So here's the coin.
Yes,
right?
we are
And
ready for money
whoever-
words.
Yes, money words, and the money goes to the person who gives me the best answer. Okay, but it has to be a right answer. You can't just make it up, because if you make it up, then you don't get any coin. Yes?
Okay.
So, these spooky people, are they here all the time? Or do they go different places?
They don't like it down here, but they like to go and walk through the tunnels.
Yeah. And do you know how many there are? And Keenan holds up his hands, and he like does like the finger thing to see if he can find out
You see, he
how
sort
many
of
are
like,
there at the moment.
he sort of like shakes his head,
guys, what do we want to know about the spooky people? And he's talking
What?
to Callan and
Zeph was like, why do you think they're spooky?
They bring bodies with them sometimes. And they snatch, and as you watch as he says snatch, all of the other ones like snatch. Like they snatch us and they use us.
oh, that's really bad. Really bad. We're going to try and stop them from snatching you because that's not right.
And Zephyr nods at that and then goes, these bodies and these other bodies they bring. You mean like dead bodies?
Sleeping bodies.
Dwarf?
I don't know.
These people, the scary people, dwarves?
They're big.
They're big. Are they as
He points
tall
at-
as me
Yeah.
or as tall as him? And he points at the hobgoblin.
Sometimes the small ones.
Okay.
Wait, how tall's Keenan?
5'8".
Okay, yeah, Zephyr's like the same, roughly the same. She's like, he goes, okay.
5'11", sorry.
Okay. And then, yeah, so probably like dwarf size, I suppose. And
I would
she
say,
goes,
as far as to when you ask how many, you do, like, he says no, but you do get like 6, 3, 17. They know there's definitely a lot of them, and they have no idea what numbers they're at.
yeah, I was gonna say
Like one's like 1, but he counted as 2 because he was big.
That makes sense. That makes sense.
I think I'd ask, like, when did they start coming down here? I assume you've been here a while. Okay. How to phrase this?
How many of you have they taken?
Lots.
How many of your?
But only because we keep stealing. Taking what is rightfully ours.
Liberating.
Zephyr nods and goes,
Liberating, we call it. Yes.
Yes.
Zephyr nods and
Liber-vibing.
goes, getting your family heirlooms back.
Yes. Yes. We have a lot. We have big family.
Yes.
Yeah.
Uh,
So, you know the ones back there, and Keenan gestures from where they came from. Is there another way to get into where they are? Like, is there a different tunnel, or is that the only way?
Make me a persuasion check.
That is a 25.
He's like, yeah. And then like looks at all of you, and he's like, and sort of like points off to the side, and you can see, like Grebe would only just fit through this. There is a massive, not massive. There is a small, but massive for a goblin. There's a small like hole in the wall that looks like it's been tunneled. And as he like points that way, he like reaches into his pocket and pulls out like the most like bent and jagged spoon you've ever seen in your life. He's like, eh. And like points towards the tunnel.
Did you make that?
Yes, I am very good.
She nods and goes, "That's a very good tunnel."
Thank you. They grab us because we can crawl everywhere and we see things, and sometimes they don't like what we see. So, and then Rockbuck's like, and also we steal their stuff, and he's like, yeah, that too.
What do you
what
see?
things do you see that they don't want you to see?
They keep hitting the ground like angry drummers. That's how we found them. We heard it.
Drumming.
Drummers. So do you guys drum? Because we've been hearing some drummers. Is it them or is it you?
He's like, no, just them. And like as he's doing it, I'd say with how this conversation's going, like he's definitely lying. It is
Yeah.
them. I'd say
Keenan
I'd say
side eyes him and
the-
throws him a copper instead of a silver.
I'd say the syncopated drum beat that you guys have been hearing is far too it's like far different from what you heard the cultists chanting.
Mhm.
It's much more like upbeat and dangerous in its sort of vibe. It's definitely them that are making the drum beats.
Zephyr pauses for a minute. Her eyes flick to the other two, and then back to the goblins, and goes, "Do you ever see anything else in the tunnels? Anything that flies?"
I think as Zeph says that, I'll literally like pull out one of my little mechanical bird things that I was working on before, and then like animate it slightly in the air, just to kind of like give them a visual aid.
I mean, Zephyr's also flying, but
True,
Mhm.
but just to
fly-
emphasize the wing, emphasize
yeah,
wings.
point it at the wings and go like fly like that, not like me.
Make me a persuasion check.
I'm so bad at it. If only there was somebody with really good persuasion with me that could help me.
I'm trying to not stop laughing.
My original
How am I gonna
persuasion
phrase
check
this?
is 22. Yeah, that was. I didn't even roll with advantage 22.
There.
That's impressive. You watch as one of them God, there's so many names. One of them looks to Spindle and he's like, Scratch, and he's like, Miflak, and they're talking in Goblin, and then they all turn to face Zephyr, and they're like, you mean the Night Bleeders?
Night Bleeders.
Sky Ghosts. And he's like, seeing you're not getting, he's like, ink skins? Sharp eyes. No blinkers.
Zephyr looks at the
walkers?
others.
And he's like flapping his arms.
Yeah, and she's like, and sometimes they glow pink.
No. And the pink, like, and he points at himself.
Green.
The pink.
You're what's making
Yeah.
pink. What is the pink? And she digs around in her shoe purse and gives them some of her shoe money.
I would say with that higher persuasion, you watch as like Spindle, who hasn't really talked that much this whole time, is sort of like looking at you, and after a while, like there's like a small like little sparkle in his eyes, and as you're like reaching down to get the coin out, he walks up to Keenan, gives him your actual coin purse,
Excellent.
and then just sort of goes and sits like inches himself closer to Zephyr.
Uh-huh. What's the pink?
And he's had like in a very like not the brave way, he's heard is up, and when he wants to, he can sort of like peel his ears, like poking out of it. And as he does that, you can see that tattooed all along his ears, you can see like an eclectic mess of like bright, almost glowing neon tattoos. In like various, like really like graphic art graffiti style, like pointing different, like one's a phrase in Goblin, one is like a depiction of like a goblin warrior like stabbing another one right through the dick, and it's
Amazing.
just like a smattering of just neon pink and blue colors, essentially.
Like just tattooed into there.
Yeah, into his ears. And like as he does
Uh-huh.
that, he sort of like opens his part of his tunic, and underneath you can see that, much like some of the others, he's wearing like an eclectic sorry. Okay. He's wearing like eclectic grouping of okay, sorry, I had to allow that. Eclectic grouping of belts and like different pockets and satchels and stuff, but like a lot of them have also been dyed like this pink and blue and like tie-dye almost colors, and he like points at them and then points at you and then reaches into one of the satchels and pulls out almost like this small, it looks like a pet, like not a pet, like a bud from a flower that hasn't flowered yet. And on the flower is like a transitioning ombre between pink and blue through the petals, and sort of like offers it towards you.
Zephyr points at herself and goes, "For me?" And she opens her hand out, kind of just to let him put it in her hand.
And then he like, as he puts in your hand, there is a moment where you sort of like look at it, like what do I do with it? And then he like slams his fist down into your hand, and there's a burst of color in like this powder, and like it's a little liquidy of electric blue and pink that sort of like spreads across your hand. And then he like dips a finger on it and like moves up to where like a portion of your arm is showing, and like offers, then like waits.
Zephyr smiles, sort of laughs, and nods.
And then he draws like a little
already bracing herself for a penis on her arm.
No, he just places a couple of dots like very geometrically up a little bit of your arm, creating like this nice little pattern, and then like cleans off his hands.
She points at the like her hand where the, you know, whatever residue is left, and she goes, what do you call this?
Glob.
And then I guess she would say thank you, and then kind of go over to Callan and show Callan Glob, because Zephyr figures Callan would be very interested in Glob.
Oh yeah. I'd be whipping out my little herbalism book and trying to identify what the hell this is, because this is cool. He's like, I've got tattoos that light up, but I have to like do stuff. This is like new level.
Yeah, make me a survival check.
Ooh, 24.
Oh, fuck me. 24. Yeah, so Glob is a hybrid between fungal and a flower, in the sense that it can only exist in lower. It can only flower in portions of low pressure, portions of. Wait, I'm trying to get this right. Portions of high pressure and underground, and darkness. It is bioluminescent, and it's a very stubborn flower that will grow in like hot, very humid environments. It smells a little bit like a sweet rot, but the flip side is you look pretty cool when you put it on your face. You could tattoo it in theory, you would guess, but the thing he put on her arm will disappear when you wash it off. And you can also dye your clothes in it, but it's like a fungal flower that grows at very low depths.
I'll take all those like notes down in my little herbalism journal thing, and I'll explain to Zeph what it is, and then I'll kind of go over to Spindle and just go, "Could you show me where you get Glob? Because this is cool."
He like narrows his eyes.
And like as I say that, it's like I'm gonna like roll up my sleeve and then like kind of like pulse my tattoo just so you can kind of see that I'm kind of
He'll
like.
pay you for it if you do.
And he, like, you see like first like an exclamation of joy, and then like a realization. He's like, "You're too big."
Could you maybe get me some then?
And then he like pulls out another one, shows it to Zephyr, and then like sticks it in his mouth, and just like is like chewing on it. And after a while, like sticks out his tongue, and you can see, like as he sticks his tongue out, it's like a vibrant green yellow color. And then it, like as he like rolls it around his mouth, it like switches to pink and then blue. And he's like, and you can see it like covering big portions of his teeth and like
so
mouth.
cool.
Zephyr's like laughing at this, and it's just like, that is amazing. And she looks like at all of them, and she's like, thank you for talking to us. I know we're giving you money, but we'll get rid of the scary people.
As they're all sort of like looking, they're like, do you want to join our gang?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Absolutely, because we
Sounds
want
pretty
like
cool.
new friends.
And you watch as all of them, like almost at once, like turn around, and you can see written on the various different vestments and jackets. Let me find them in. I can actually tell what they're wearing. Because I didn't expect to find it yet. You can see Ruck in a portion of his lapel. You didn't see it before. Like almost like batons, like adult-sized, like pieces of wood that sort of taper at the end to a small metal point. But it's not sharp, it's like rounded. He's wearing like a cargo vest with neon blue zigzags. Now that he's like wiping some of the soot away, you can see his tattooed zigzags across his cheeks. He's got like a massive in the cargo vest, like massive load of pockets, and you can see little poking bits of like coin and like a spring and like a cog. Miz, who's the one, like the quite loud one, she's actually a she. She's got like yellow handprints all over her arms. Some parts of her teeth have been painted. And you can see she's wearing a sleeveless jacket with Ms. Biz sort of tattooed across like one part of her arm. Spindle, who's the one that really likes Zephyr now, has like fogged and one like a little bit cracked goggles permanently affixed to the top of their heads. They've got neon pink spirals along their cheeks and like a little bit down their neck. And all across his belt is like a variety of like tools. That even as he's like fiddling with them, Callantho, you can tell he has no idea what any of that stuff does. And then Grebe, like the really big one, has like neon green streaks under their eyes. And like where he's moved a little bit, he's got like a spiked pauldrons. He seems to be their muscle. And as they all turn around, they've got Scrap Gang, but like SKRP, and then like GAN, and then like the G has been added, and it's like in graffiti across their jackets. as they are sort of doing that, you can see each person, apart from Miz, has, so like as you're like, the longer you're looking at it, like Rock's batons that you would think maybe like he would fight with are adult-sized drumsticks as you're like looking at them. And like Spindle's goggles, as he like turns where he was standing and like looking very suspect at the three of you, there is like a child-sized lute sort of leaning up against a crate that's been carved and like embellished with like neon colors and like more graffiti. You would guess Grebe doesn't need weapons because he's a lot bigger than the rest of them. And on portions of his gloves, you can see like little spikes. They're not all the same. Like there's clearly things that they've just manufactured. Like one's like a knitting needle that's been like pushed underneath the gloves. Like another piece is like maybe a screw. It's all just very higgledy-piggledy mash of things they have stolen, essentially, and formed into it. But they are a goblin gang and band, as they're sort of like pointing with their thumbs at the back of their jackets. And then like put everything back
Pretty
on.
cool. Seeing the loot, Keenan's gonna like go, do you mind if I have a look at that? This is really good. This is really good work. And provided they don't kind of like say, no, absolutely not, don't touch it, he's going to pick it up and then start playing it.
I would say as you go to touch it, Spindle immediately starts hissing. He's like, oh.
I didn't. That's fine. That's fine. I just wanted to admire it. And Keenan will then put out his loot.
I would say now that you're just before that, I would say now that you're closer, part of his loot at the bottom has been fully retrofitted with iron along like the back side, and you can see dents in it that he has definitely hit people over the head with.
Yeah.
Beautiful.
Keenan's going to pull out his loot, or pull his loot off of his back, and show and say, look, mine's boring. It's like the same as everyone else's. That's why I wanted to have a look at yours. But it still plays a tune. Look, and he starts playing like an up-tempo, kind of like rowdy, bawdy number that he'd play in a kind of like sailor's bar.
I love it. Make me a performance roll.
Happily. It's a 15. I rolled a 3. It's ridiculous.
Amazing. Let me just check something. I would say that like in like all of this, you're trying to play. You do know that maybe you shouldn't play too loud, and as you're doing that, it's not actually you. The reason that you can't play properly is Spindle like quickly reaches up and with a claw he just like pulls off one of your strings of your lute and then like is like smiling at you with still like neon paint coating the inside of his mouth. He's like, he shakes his head and then like holds up his finger.
Fair enough.
Let me just check something real quick. Keep going.
Yeah, so Keenan will put it away and kind of like nod and think, yeah, okay, no problem. So yeah, can we really be part of your gang?
Cool. As they like look around, they like and like nod a little bit. You watch as Spindle like picks off a piece of cloth from his belt that's been dyed like this like bright neon blue, and then has like etchings of like different patterns of pink on it, and you can see underneath it says hazardous, do not remove on it. And he's like offers it towards Zephyr, and each of them will like offer a piece towards you. If you accept, they sort of like reach up really high and begin tying it across like a portion of your limb, whatever one you want to give, as like a symbol that you are now part of their gang.
Yes.
Happily accept.
Yeah. Yep.
Could I go over? Who was the one with the loot again? Was that
That's
Spindle?
that's Spindle as well, yeah.
I'll just like kind of because I don't actually do I have Smith's tools? Okay, I don't have it at the minute. But
I'm
I can
such
make them.
I can't believe I wrote that. Just in case you guys want to know, up the side of Mrs., who's like the really loud one, you would guess, because he's not got anything on him that would be some form of instrument, he might sing, or a version of goblins might sing.
Nice.
He's got up the side of his pant leg sewn in the mismatched patchwork of his trousers is
He's got flares.
authorized access, and there's like a little arrow to his crotch. It's just been sewn into. I wrote it, so it exists. As he's sort of like reaching up to Keenan to tie on the piece of cloth.
To was it Spindle? Zephyr asked, "How do you move so fast? You're able to steal things that..." And she looks over at Keenan and she's like, "He's normally quite good at not getting stolen from."
You say, as he says we, he's pointing at him, and you might think that might just mean him. You're not too sure. He's like, we is blessed. And they all like nod like Spindle blessed. And as he's like nodding, you can see part of his earring that he's wearing. You can see a small eye symbol in gold. And it's definitely goblin made, like this little trinket. Which none of you really know what it is apart from Keenan, because amongst some of these symbols for in your time traveling, you have obviously learnt about someone named the Melody, who is the goddess of music. And this isn't hers. This is her much more, shall we say, capricious sibling, her twin, called the Muse, who is the daughter of the Weaver, and, well, depicted as the daughter of the Weaver, and her domain is luck, playfulness, and mischief. And so a lot of the time you'll see, like, in the more ornate temples, it'd be like murals of masks with like flowing lines. In some places it's like spiraling ink lines forming an eye. But in a lot of the times it's just like a very minimal eye. And he's like got it dangling from his ear. And as he's like nodding, he like points down to his boots, and you can see they're slightly too big for him, but they would fit maybe someone of a smaller foot size, so definitely not a dwarf. They might have been made for an elf. They are like these beautiful like spiraling leather. They're green, so they like match his skin, so it just looks like his feet, with like little belts, but all along the bottom are like gold trailing lines in like a wave that almost look like wings, that are like stitched into the leather. And as he's like pointing at them, he like gives you both a thumbs up, and immediately you do see it happen. It's not like he blinks, but he like moves to the side and is instantly from in front of Zephyr to right next to her, like to her side. If you want, you can make an Arcana check.
I'd love to help,
Okay.
but I cannot.
I'm just gonna go for it. What's the worst I can have? That's 13.
13. Yeah, 13's good enough. So, as you're like looking these over, those boots are magical.
Mm-hmm.
Like, either he found them, or they keep saying he was blessed, so maybe he was given them. And you're not sure why someone... It's a little bit racist from you, not to put this on you, but you're not sure why, like, clearly he's not a, like, cleric or anything, but why would someone, like, gift such a thing to a goblin? Because you might not have that, stereotypical view, but you know that in the world, a lot of people don't like goblins, so why would someone give someone something this valuable, as you're, like, thinking about it? It's unusual for someone like him to have something like this, especially where they are and how they live.
Zephyr's gonna look at his shoes and be like, "Those are really cool. They look really good on you." And then she points to herself and she goes, "I'm also blessed." And she settles back on the ground, and she casts a moment to think. And will also, like, she won't actually do much. All she'll do is, as everything's frozen, she will walk to the other side of the room.
Nice.
And then
Yes, amazing.
And literally we'll wait there until, like, it's over. And then when everything unfreezes, he's like, ta-da!
You see, as he, like, sees you just, like, blink and appear the other side of the room, he's like, ha! Ha 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 ha! And he's like, she's blessed!
And not wanting to be outdone by Zephyr, Keenan's like, me too, and he's going to activate his cloak and teleport.
Yes.
So for a little bit, there's two Keenans, and then
Amazing.
where Keenan was.
You watch as, like, all of this happens, like, the three of them. You watch as, I've got to remember, Miz is a singer, Spinels, oh fuck me, Grebe, and the other one whose name escapes me. Rock. Oh, thank God. You are. You watch as Rock, like, pulls out the batons and just, like, begins, like, jumping a small little jump beat, and they all begin doing, like, this. I don't know if you've ever seen, like, proper, like, pagan rituals where they dance around a fire, but it's almost like a little Celtic in a way, as they all just begin, like, dancing in a little circle, like, as he's, like, drumming on a crate, as they're like, they're blessed, whoa, and begin, like dancing all around you. And then as they're doing that, Glebe's like, shh, and he's like, huh, and they all, like, freeze and, like, and, like, puts it back.
A question. Was this drum beat similar to the drums that Zephyr had
it's
before?
very much like a much more upbeat version of something very primal, like, really, like, deep and earthy. It could be used for war, but in the way that they were doing it, it's almost like a celebration. Yeah.
Now it's Zephyr's time to have a sly smile on her face, and she goes, "So it was you guys drumming?"
I don't lie. And the other one's like,
Can I ask, if we get rid of the spooky people, the bad spooky people, does that mean we can, like, be noisy again and play? Like, we can be a band together?
If you get rid of the people, we will show you. We will show you home. And he's like,
And then
it was like, you will be the tall folk to visit. You can come and you can dance.
Yes.
and Zephyr
you can
goes,
come
and they'll be.
You can come to Glimmerick Catan. And they're all like, Glimmerick Catan. So Glimmer, it's Glimmer in Kiltan is
Oh.
their name for their home. It is the Goblin City they are referring to. I would say, Keenan,
Mm-hmm.
you've heard this name. Glimmer in Kiltan was the name of a goblin warrior who led his people to freedom in a storybook that was read to you as a child. There has never been a verified existence of a goblin city on this plane ever in the material world. Don't know if someone set one up in a Fire World. Don't know why I said it like that. But as he says that, there's like a small like, as you're like, that's not a real thing. But apparently, according to them, it is.
Zephyr goes, and your home, there'll be more glob,
Yes, so much glow.
and there'll be, and she, I forget what the many things you called the thing she saw earlier was. One was ink something.
I will get you the full list.
So it's Nightbleeders, Sharp Eyes, No Blinkers. They're the ones that got written down. There was a few more though.
yes,
Sky
it's one of
Ghosts, Wool Walkers, No Blinkers, Inkskins, Nightbleeders, Sharp Eyes.
She goes,
Yeah.
and your home, will there be night bleeders?
They try, but we kill them. And he's like, ha! And they were like, ha!
And Zephyr goes, and the Zephyr goes, how big? And she starts starts off like very small, and like just her hands just get like further and further apart.
You see, there is a moment of confusion, and he's like, no, it's two.
Two? Two what?
Is two.
Two goblin?
Two sizes
Yes,
or two sizes.
yes.
What? How
One
big
small,
is
one
the-
big.
Yeah.
Night bleeders are and he like pauses for a moment and then points at Zephyr
Yes.
and like points at you again
Like
And-
to her in general, or to something specific?
and like
on
points
her?
at you and then points at Keenan.
One male, one female, one boy, one girl.
Night bleeders
One
are,
big.
and he like points at his ears and like making points
Uh-huh.
and then like lifts his hand above his head.
Yes.
I'm out of character. I know what he's talking about.
If you want, you make an insight roll.
Fuck. Let's inside this. Let's inside this. Yeah. That's a 17.
He pointed at the two elves
Mhm.
and then went
Oh.
like this, like
They're
tall.
like us?
Yeah.
With,
And,
with dark skin.
Sky ghosts, and he like moves his hands up and down,
Oh.
and then like makes like a little like fanged motion, like ha.
And they fly? And she like flaps her arms. They fly?
Yeah.
She's like, oh okay. And then-
Glebe, throw me! And you watch as Glebe like picks him up and launches him, and you watch as like it's really like it's almost better than Keenan's display of acrobatics as Spindle tumbles in the air and for just a second as he touches the top of the roof is stood upside down like ha, and then like falls like straight onto his head like whoopong, and like down.
Zephyr, you know how I said there's no coincidences. We've fought bat type people before.
Yeah, no, I'm getting that now.
Mm.
I
Could I, because he talked about fangs, could I pull
Yes.
out my vial of vampire fangs that I have and just shake him in
You
front
see,
of
he
him?
like
see
looks
if
at them and he's like,
That-
no, no.
Bigger?
And
And it like begins like stroking the bottom of his chin, like. Yeah. If you want, I will say Calenthar, if you want to make a survival check with advantage.
That's a dirty 20.
The acrobatics that he did with Glebe, and
Mhm.
the size and the like moving of the wings. There's something in ancient Elven, which is known as Valith, called a Skavrin. It's essentially a Velshade giant bat. They
amazing.
come from the Feywild, and some of them bleed through different portions of the world, much like some other things. But there was a time in which, when they had access, the Dark Elves, or the Drow, who lived deep beneath the earth, they call them Umbrakesh, and what that means in their language is those who drink in the dark. They are the sacred beasts of the Drow, and as far as you are aware with that high of roll, and from what you've seen, to the Drow, riding a Skavrin is like being carried by the weight of shadows.
Oh.
They can fly silently. Like you would hardly ever hear them if they didn't want you to. And so some, and for Keenan, you know this as well, but this hasn't been heard of for ages. Like the Drow don't really poke their heads above for anyone, to be honest, unless they're trying to piss off the highborn elves. And for a time during the first Stormcaller War, they were not on the side of the coalition. They were very much following the Lord of Storms because they felt that if he was able to blend the elemental planes, they might also be able to give them access to the Fae. And as such, their
More
Umbrakesh could flourish, and they'd have more bats.
Aw.
It's not even in the sense that they are their pets. They are, like I said, sacred creatures. They worship these creatures as if they were a version of their deity. And if you would like, Keenan, you can make a religion check with advantage.
So my first roll was definitely better. Was a, let's scroll down, a 14.
It's still good enough. Your DC was a 14. You meet a bit. They worship someone called, as a version of this in Elven, it's the Bat-Crowned. His name is Valturos. For you guys, more commonly known as the Soul Devourer. He is a member of the Dread Pact. He is very much a deity, and has a thirst for souls. And as I would say, out of like pure, like it's like an instinct. As this is all going on, you blurt out Volmathar, which is his elven name. Callan is an instant red flag. Is like prickled up. Even just hearing his name, like the goosebumps on the back of your neck. Another known, another word or name for the Soul Devourer is the King of Nightmares.
Uh-oh.
And as that like prickles up the back of your neck, his symbol is often depicted. It's often depicted as a circle of teeth around a hollow circle, or more commonly known as a giant gaping maw of teeth.
Ew.
He is often associated, as I said, he's the king of nightmares and the fear of the afterlife, fear of dying. He's believed to feed on the spirits of the deceased before they can transcend to the afterlife. He is also, and always has been, a great friend of the Lord of Torment, as he once said that to bind a god is to shatter a world. And as such, he and the Lord of Torment often go hand in hand in causing trouble across the world. There you go. A lot of lore, but yes.
Was Callan's like shiver a Callan shiver, or was this Birdman reacting?
I'd say it's both. It's like, it's pure instinct. It is the reaction of just hearing him said aloud, like a, I almost burped that. Yeah, a little bit of vomit, chuck. Like,
Yeah. I'll probably go as far to say that his tattoos probably ignite, and he kind of like grips his scimitar a little bit in his hand, like knowing that this means shit. It's gonna go down, sort of thing.
But that is the background behind it. That's not to say that like they all are like super evil. But
Yeah.
like I said, this is the background between what the Scavarin mean for the Drow, and they are essentially the riders of the Scavarin are his knights of the apocalypse. Essentially, they are his clergy. They don't all follow him. It's mostly the riders. The only other god that the Drow follow, the only other two gods that they follow, one of them is actually a gilded soul. They follow the Arbiter, who is the god of vengeance, justice, and truth. Because to them, there's nothing wrong with that, because everything should be balanced. And the other one being the deep and dark Temptress. But again, that's a different collective of more seductive and temptation surrounding. So you'll find a lot of the unfortunate sex workers who are Drow will often follow the Temptress and have symbolism of hers of a serpent around a heart in a lot of their depictions. Oh, and the Drow are a matriarchy, much like the elves. Thought that'd be important.
Zephyr, having all this kind of revealed, just kind of glances at the other two and go, yeah, so I might have seen a giant bat, I guess. With somebody riding it, maybe.
Oh, fuck. That is
Keenan's like, that's like the boogeyman.
that's like, yeah. We're gonna need everyone to kill that fuck.
And that's where we're going to end our session. Thank you very much for joining me. I had to quickly cut it off there. As we will not be next week because it is my grandfather's birthday, so I can't be here. But we will be back the week after for another episode of the Stormcaller's Fury. But until then, these lovely lot have been my Wyrdcast, coming and going. But until then, let's say goodbye, guys.
Goodbye, guys.
Bye.
Eternity's a gift, they say, to never cross the veil. This life I try to savor, and I try to no avail. Curse that mortal brevity which has rent you from my arms. Curse this cold eternity without you to keep me warm. Your never-ending elegy is a ballad with no melody, as empty as I. Now you've passed me by. A blessing, no, a malady. Why do roses bloom in spring, only to wither and die? You were all that was good in me. Now back to darkness go I. Take with you my sanity, better madness than the pain of my want. All my effort is vanity, and I hear the ravens taunt. Your never-ending elegy is a ballad with no melody, as empty as I. Now you've passed me by. A blessing, no, a malady. My eternal malady. Eternity's a gift, they say, to never cross the veil. This life I try to savor, and I try to no avail. Curse that mortal brevity which has rent you from my arms. Curse this cold eternity without you to keep me warm. Your never-ending elegy is a ballad with no melody, as empty as I. Now you've passed me by. A blessing, no, a malady. Why do roses bloom in spring, only to wither and die? You were all that was good in me. Now back to darkness go I. Take with you my sanity, better madness than the Eternity's a gift, they say, to never cross the veil. This life I try to savor, and I try to no avail. Curse that mortal brevity which has rent you from my arms. Curse this cold eternity without you to keep me warm. Your never-ending elegy is a ballad with no melody, as empty as I. Now you've passed me by. A blessing, no, a malady. Why do roses bloom in spring, only to wither and die? You were all that was good in me. Now back to darkness go I. Take with you my sanity, better madness than the pain of my want. All my effort is vanity, and I hear the ravens taunt. Your never-ending elegy is a ballad with no melody, as empty as I. Now you've passed me by. A blessing, no, a malady. My eternal malady. Eternity's a gift, they say, to never cross the veil. This life I try to savor, and I try to no avail. Curse that mortal brevity which has rent you from my arms. Curse this cold eternity without you to keep me warm. Your never-ending elegy is a ballad with no melody, as empty as I. Now you've passed me by. A blessing, no, a malady. Why do roses bloom in spring, only to